Okay, we are live now. So can you check if it's working this
Let me
time?
check.
I really hope it's working.
Sure. Let me check.
Is
Bismillah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's live.
yeah.
It's live.
Oh my god, it's really weird. Like we did it like 4 times before we got it live on your channel, right? It's very odd, right?
Sure.
Oh my god. Yeah, and it's
Uh,
live on my channel too. So okay, so it's live on both
okay.
our channels now. All right, great. So
Okay.
let's begin.
Okay.
So why don't you start? It's your show.
Uh, by the way, can you add the thumbnail? Can you see if you can add the thumbnail, if possible? No.
Not unfortunately, I don't think so. Nah, no, I can't. It's not. It's there's no option for it. Yeah,
Okay.
There's no option for it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Uh,
brother. We can only edit later. Yeah.
sure.
So it
Assalamualaikum
works.
warahmatullahi
Yeah.
wabarakatuh,
Anyway, we are
everyone.
streaming on
Welcome
both
back to
channels.
another episode of the Islamic Calling Podcast. I'm joined and also to the Muslim
Yes,
Apologist
Muslim
podcast
apologies.
because we're
Yep.
doing this stream on a collab. This is a collab. We're streaming
Yep.
this live stream on both of our channel. So, bro,
Yep.
again, apologies for the technical difficulties. Like we had some issues.
Yeah. I
Alhamdulillah,
really
it's
don't
fixed
understand.
now.
I really don't understand what happened. Yeah. It's very weird.
Yeah,
It shouldn't have
apologies
happened.
for
Technically
that.
speaking, it shouldn't have happened. Yeah. So sorry
Okay,
for
yeah.
that too, from
So
my side.
let's not worry about that. So basically, the reason we're here now is because there's been a podcast live stream or where that happened on the PBT podcast. So in case you guys don't know, the PBT podcast is probably one of the most popular business oriented live streams. Usually, at least it used to be business oriented live streams, and it's a very popular mainstream uh, basically like a Joe Rogan type live stream where basically they invite a lot
Yep.
of like reputable guests, and it's basically hosted by Patrick Bet Davidson.
But
I think that's
Bad
his name
David.
is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Bad
in
Davis or
last
something like this.
show,
Yeah.
they invited brother Daniel, Robert Spencer, and what is the other guy's name?
Rashid Hamimi.
Rashid,
Rashid Ham Rashid
that
Hamimi.
clown
Yeah.
Rashid, and
Yeah.
brother Jake from the Muslim Metaphysician. So they
Yep.
had like a
That's right.
debate and discussion of like 2 hour long.
Yeah.
So inshallah, today's episode will basically react to that and basically give our thoughts and respond to some of the stupid point that they made. Inshallah. So let's get started. Inshallah.
Of course. Of course. So shall I add this now? Yeah. It's there.
Sure.
So let me know when you want to pause, right? And whenever you want to
Sure.
pause or whatever.
Put it on high
Yeah.
speed, by
So
the way,
I'm
no,
gonna
two speed.
two speed. All right. Let's do it on
Yeah.
two speed. Then
Otherwise, we won't be able to cover
yeah.
two speed.
Not two speed. Are you sure two speed? Or two speed is too fast. I think 1.75 is better. Let's try 1.75 first.
Sure.
Right?
Fine.
Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead.
Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm supposed to take sweet victory. I know this life meant for me. Yeah, why would you bet on Goliath when we got that David? Now you came and gave it values and takes
Oh, the music is awesome.
Okay, so today we have a very unique podcast here. We have some friends here. We were talking earlier to discuss the importance of the NBA and the greatest players of all time. That's what we're going to talk about. It has nothing to do with faith, nothing to do with religion, no discussion. But in all seriousness, I've been looking forward to this for a while. I know it's a bit of a sensitive setup to have it like this. We discussed it was supposed to be a couple different individuals, brothers from your end coming in, and then Mohammed Hijab and I had a call together. We had a Zoom. He had some challenges, and I got to give shout out to Eddie, the Dean Show. He's here with us as well, but he's sitting outside to have the discussion for us to be here together. Robert, I respect all of you for coming out. Truly, I respect you for coming out. My outcome, I want to first share with you and the audience what my outcome of this is. So, as a father of four, I'm a little bit concerned on what's going on with the country in America. I escaped Iran. We went to Germany at a refugee camp, then we came here. I now have 4 kids, and I love America. I think this is an incredible nation. It's changed my life. But some of the things that's going on right now, it's kind of weird. It's strange. It's not normal. It doesn't seem normal to me. And I have friends. I'm a Christian myself. I'm a non-denominational Christian. People know that's my position. But I have a lot of friends that are Muslims. I have Scientologist friends. I have Mormon friends. I have Jews, who are here with us as well. So I wanted to bring this up because we're going to discuss a few different things today. Number one is the differences in the religion of Christianity and Muslim. We'll discuss that. And then we'll discuss the enemy. Who is the enemy to Christians? Who is the enemy to Muslims? And then we're going to share who our common enemies are. And some funny questions I want to ask you. We'll have some levity here as well to enjoy the discussion. And then there'll be an opportunity for you guys to also discuss with each other. This is not a debate. This is a discussion. Of course, there's going to be
Okay,
moments
can you
of
pause?
debate and your point of view. That's going to happen no
Can
matter
you
what.
pause for a second? Okay,
Yeah,
so
he
basically,
said that it's not a debate, but yeah.
not a debate, but
Yeah,
has
go
like
ahead.
the most
Yeah.
staunch enemies of
Yeah.
Islam he can find. I mean,
Yes.
like,
Yeah. Exactly.
the thing is
Yeah.
that both of these people, both of these like clowns, both Robert Spencer and like this other clown, they have no credentials. These are not
The
academics.
Arab clown.
They're not like professors. They have no background. Like they're not like
No.
even that popular. You know, they're not like someone like Destiny or like this like kind of like popular live streamer or something. Someone like Andrew Tate. They're not even that. So why are these people
Actually,
here representing
there's not.
Christianity?
act- Yeah, actually, I would say that Rachid is quite popular in the Arab-speaking world, as I mentioned before. So he's quite a personality.
Doesn't matter.
But
I mean,
Robert
like
Spencer is
it's like an
like, yeah,
English
yeah.
mainstream English channel, right? So
Nah,
if like
in
he's
terms of English,
popular in
obviously
Arab,
not.
like
Yeah,
how popular is he? Is he more popular than someone like Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson?
he has 600K subs, bro. So what do you think? Yeah,
Ali Dao
yeah,
has
he's
1
quite
million
popular. Yeah,
subs. Yeah. I mean, like
yeah. I mean,
someone like
yeah,
Penguin
yeah.
said, Charlie, he has like 14 million subs. So he's a nobody by all contest.
Maybe I don't know.
You know,
I don't know,
he's not that popular,
but I would say that
even by that metric.
I would say in the I would say in the Arab world, he's quite known. I mean, maybe not that popular, but he's quite known. Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
But in the terms of the English speaking world,
Sure, but
obviously
like
he's a
he's
nobody.
still not
We
on
don't
like
even
on the
know.
level
Yeah,
of like someone like
yeah.
I don't know, someone really recognizable. You know,
David Wood,
so David Wood is also not that popular. I mean, like he's popular, but like he's not on that level.
Christian
Like he's not like
Prince.
no.
Nah, just kidding. Yeah, but anyway, he's a nobody. We can agree on that. I mean, he's just
Yeah, yeah.
he's just a guy who claims to be
He's
an
a clown,
ex-Muslim.
bro.
We don't even know whether he's yeah. I
He's
mean,
a
we
clown.
really don't know whether he's an ex-Muslim. He just claims to be one, and then he claims to have found Jesus in his life, and then he spouts all this negative anti-Islam propaganda, and most of them are all the stereotypes that born Christians usually spout about Islam. So there's no way to measure or to actually know whether this guy is really truly was a former Muslim or not, because the things that he spout are mostly things which the Islamophobe campaign usually repeats. So we don't know. We only have his word to trust. So, and I don't trust this guy. Obviously, I have zero trust in this guy. Right? Yeah. So we don't know whether
By
he's
the way,
really
why is
ex-Muslim or
everyone
not.
asking for StreamYard link? I don't get it.
Okay. Oh, you can see
On the
the
chat.
comments, right? So brother servant
Yeah, yeah.
Allahu Akbar. So no StreamYard link. Actually, brother, this is basically just me and brother Islamic calling,
Yeah, yeah. This is
reacting.
me and brother Muslim
But
apologist. It's not.
maybe we can open up the I don't know. Maybe we can open up the live
No, no,
stream
bro. We have a
for
lot to
guests.
cover, like two
I mean
hours
towards
of like
no. I mean
stuff.
towards the
Maybe.
end. I mean
Oh,
towards the
yeah,
end.
sure. If there's time.
If there's time, right? If there's time, yeah, we don't mind doing that. But otherwise, it's just me and brother Islamic calling. But if there is time, I will. And we want to have feedback from the guests or whatever if they want to come on, and yeah, we can invite you guys on, right? But basically, this was not the
Sure, sure.
original intention. This is basically
It's not Hamza's
a
den, by the
collab
way.
between me and brother Islamic
It's not
calling.
Hamza's den. It's just
Yeah, I'm
us
sorry, but
responding.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's just basically just a reaction video to this podcast, and yeah,
Sure, sure.
for now,
Yeah,
this
to
is what we
respond.
plan. Okay, yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So do you okay? So do you want to continue playing the video?
Yeah, sure. Let's continue. By the way, can you skip some of it?
All
Like,
right.
let's get to these two clowns and see what they say.
Which parts do you want to skip?
When they start talking, not that far ahead, just when they start talking. When Robert Spencer
Okay,
and
all
this
right.
like other guys.
Naturally,
Okay,
the
all right.
setting is where that is going to happen. But I want to make sure everybody knows that's my outcome. I think there is an area where if we can find common enemies, the enemy's greater than we think. At the end, that's my outcome. But with that being said, let me properly introduce everybody. So first, we have Daniel Heiraritaju. I said it 7.
Hakikaju. I mean,
Butchered-
how
butchered
hard is it to
name.
pronounce his name? Hakachachuchuchu. I can't blame him, Mr. Westerner. I mean, I don't know why they can't pronounce Arabic sounding names. Hakachachu.
I mean,
That is why I noticed some people
he
they
has a
call it.
very difficult name to pronounce, to be honest.
It's
It's
Hakikaju. I know how
I
it's
think.
pronounced. Yeah, it's Hakikaju. Yeah, it's Persian, and I think some of his
Yeah.
enemies were calling him Pikachu just to annoy him
Yeah.
with that because
I mean, Pikachu
so,
is
because
a
they
good
find it
guy.
so
He's
difficult to
like
pronounce.
yeah.
Yeah, Pikachu is a very cute animal, so it's fine. Okay, so it's absolutely fine to call him Pikachu, all right? But his name is pronounced Hakikaju, and even I as a Malaysian know how to pronounce it. I mean, how difficult it is. It's not that
Yeah.
difficult, right? Yeah. All right. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's continue. Yeah.
Let's continue. Let's kind of
Time,
skip the
Robert,
intro part. Let's go to the
Okay, all right.
main
If you want to shoot
discussion.
the intro part, then yeah, let's go opposition to Islam then. All right. So okay, yeah,
no,
Sure,
let's
sure,
go.
sure,
what's your biggest
sure.
challenge with it?
You mean the biggest difficulty I see in it?
I would say the biggest difficulty, because to me, I see it from a few different places, right? One, there's faith, meaning none of us have gone to heaven to see what heaven's going to look like. We're all taking a risk. All of us here are taking a risk. Either we're all going to be right, either we're all going to be wrong, or either one of us is going to be right, meaning one group's going to be right and the other's going to be wrong. But we don't know. That's faith, that's prayer. Of course, we've had great experiences. I like to say I had a connection with God. I had a moment with that, and then that's individual to us, right? So to me, it's faith, it's religion, it's enemies, it's common enemies, it's the challenges that's going on in the world, specifically with America as being for the longest time the greatest country in the world. What is affecting that? And then there's a few other things that we'll talk about into as well. So, but for me, it's more from the standpoint of when you've said you've read the Quran dozens of times, you've studied it, you've written about it, you've talked about it. Even I think the government used 2 of your books in 2011 that Wire talked about, right? I don't know what the 2 books were. I think one of them was about Prophet Muhammad, and So your background, you've been in this world. What is your biggest challenge and differences with the religion of Islam?
Well, probably the main thing is the sanctification of violence and the idea that God will bless and even calls upon the believers to commit acts of violence under certain circumstances. Like Rashid here is an ex-Muslim, and so under Islamic law, as it's
Brother, can
traditionally
you
classically
pause it?
formulated, he would be put to death. Well,
Just a
Muhammad
bit.
said,
Can you pause? Okay, so that's like this is gonna backfire so badly, right? He says that he has a problem with sanctification of violence. What do you think of that? Bro, you're there? You're muted.
Oh, yeah, muted. Sorry. No, I don't think I was saying that Islam never says anything about sanctifying violence. Okay, violence is always used as a
No,
last
I'm
resort.
not.
So
My question was
yeah.
my question was, what do you think of his objection that he has a problem with God sanctifying violence? Like, what do you think of that?
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's just plain dumb.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just plain dumb. It's plain dumb and stupid, because if you read the Old Testament, there's a lot of violence in the Old Testament. Okay, there's a lot
Yeah,
right
so
from the very beginning. Okay,
because the thing is that violence by itself doesn't really tell us anything about whether it's good or bad. Because the thing is that if you, let's say that I'm outside, right? I'm outside
Yeah.
and I'm seeing a grown man beating up a child. In that
Yeah.
case, I use force, I use violence to stop that man, right? Now,
That's right. That's right.
the thing is that in that case, is using violence a bad thing? No, right? So same way, if
Yeah.
let's say that uh, let's say that the guy who was beating up the child, is it right for him to use violence in that case? No. So that's the thing with violence. When it comes to violence, it depends on the context. So when it comes to, for example, if I go and onto a boxing match, right, then using violence is a good thing because you're supposed to use violence.
That's right.
In the battlefield,
That's right.
if I'm fighting my enemy, in that case, I have to use violence. If I'm like trying to deal with like some terrorist or bank robber, then police have to use violence. So violence inherently itself is not a bad thing. It's how you
Yeah.
use violence and what is the context behind that violence. That is what you have to look at. And these guys, they're like these two like idiots. What they do is that they try to simplify this idea as if like both Christianity and Islam are like some kind of pacifist religion. When in reality, no, it's not a pacifist religion. Pacifism
not.
by itself is problematic. Like there's a lot of problems with pacifism
Yes.
because
Exactly,
and
exactly,
these idiots are
exactly.
not even pacifist. Okay, they're fine with using violence against Muslims and I guess like other like
Yes.
people they see as enemies.
I mean
Okay.
the question can be the question is simply this: how do you enforce the peace without any violence? How do you expect people to adhere to peace if there's not some form of for rules and regulations that will permit some people, will permit the authority to resort to violence in order to enforce the peace? Okay, because in order
Yeah.
to achieve peace, you need to be prepared for violence. Because I think
Yeah.
if you watch John Wick, there is this saying in Latin where he says, I've forgotten the exact Latin the Latin phrase, but he says, if you want to achieve peace, prepare for war. If you want peace,
Yeah.
prepare for war. So it basically means that without some form of controlled violence, you can't achieve peace. There's no way you can enforce the peace without violence. There's no such thing as people holding hands, singing kumbaya, and then you're expecting peace to just come
Yeah.
like that. No, it does not
Yeah,
happen
that's
that
the
way.
thing.
It's
Like,
that's just
this is why,
yeah.
like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with my videos against Hinduism. Like, I've criticized Hinduism basically. So there are different types of like Hinduism, different sects of Hinduism. Some sects of
Yeah.
Hinduism believe that there should be no violence. Period. They're the Jains. They don't even. Do you know they wear a mask so they don't want to hurt the bacteria? you know So this kind of like
That's
nonsense
weird.
is just completely unrealistic, because we were
Yeah,
clearly
it's not. It's
created
not.
to be
Yeah.
violent in some aspect.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we have teeth,
Yes. Exactly.
right? We have
Exactly.
hands and knuckles that we can use to protect ourselves.
Yes.
So
I mean, we create
violence is something.
tools of violence, right? Yeah, we have tools of violence, like
Yeah,
a knife, right? A knife, a gun,
yeah. So,
a
like, for example,
baton,
if you have to
all these
protect
things, right?
yourself in the wild, in the
Yeah.
jungle,
Yeah.
you have to use
Yes.
violence. So violence is
Exactly.
necessary part of life. Like, say, it's not something negative or something bad. It's just how you use it, and
Yeah.
which context you're using it. Right. For example, in
Exactly.
Christianity, there's
Exactly.
violence. There are violence in Christianity. Sometimes it's justified, and sometimes I don't think it's justified. Like, for example, there are
Yeah.
verses in the Bible that clearly talks about genocide. I don't think that's justified. Sure, I mean, like, I can understand, like,
Yeah.
going to war and, like, even taking slaves and all this, but to say that, like, killing babies and killing, like, animals, like, to me,
Yeah.
that's not justified,
Yeah.
right? So if you
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
Islam,
Exactly.
the use of violence is very limited, in the sense that we're not allowed to kill civilians, and even when you take
Yeah.
slaves, the slaves has to be treated the same way a free person is treated. And again, like, you have to
Yes.
understand it in the context of war, where there is no countries, there are no borders, so you can always get the chance of the opposite neighbors attacking you and you attacking the neighbors. So in that context,
Yeah.
then of course, like, you have to sanctify violence. Otherwise, how are you going to live? It's just not possible, unrealistic.
Yeah. I think these people think that we're living in hippie camps, the kind of enclosures where the hippies all stay in one enclosure, holding hands, singing kumbaya, peacefully, no one disturbing
Yeah,
them, and that's it.
yeah.
And
Fairy
that's
tale
not how
land.
the real world works, man.
Yeah,
That's not how the real world works. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, do we want to
yeah,
continue this? Yeah.
yeah, sure.
All right.
Anybody who changes his religion, kill him. And it's still the position of all of the schools of Islamic jurisprudence, Sunni and Shia, that the apostate should be put to death. Now, obviously, this is not something that means that every apostate has to always go
Can I
around watching
pause?
himself,
Can I
because you have
pause?
to have somebody who's willing to do that.
Yeah.
pause?
Yeah. He's talking about
Okay, so
apostates.
this
Okay.
whole thing about, like, apostasy law, right? So
Yeah.
imagine, think of it like this, right? Like, for example, these people, they're Christians. In their religion, it is clearly stated that if someone leaves the religion, you have to kill them.
Yeah.
For example,
I have I have the verse here. Do you want me to pull
yeah,
it
yeah,
up?
yeah.
I have the
Sure.
verse.
Pull it up.
Okay.
Pull it up.
Okay, hang on. Give me a moment. Present. Stop
And
screen.
Jake also talks
Okay.
about this.
Yeah, he did. It's the same verse. Yeah. I just wanted to pull it up so that both our audiences can see it. Right. Ta-da! All right. Do you want to read it? Why don't you read it out loud?
Can you make it a
So
bit smaller?
this one Okay, this one Deuteronomy 13, right?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. So yeah. The number 6 to number 10. Number 11. Yeah, or number 10.
Yeah. If your brother, the son of your mother, your son of your daughter, the wife of your bosom, of your friend who is as your own soul secretly entice you, saying, "Let's go and serve other gods, which you have not known, neither you nor your fathers, of the gods of the people, which are all around you, near to you or far off from you, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, you shall not consent to him or listen to him, nor shall your eye pity him. Nor shall you spare him or conceal him, but you shall surely kill him. Your hands shall be the first against him to put him to death. And afterwards, the hands of all the people." So this is basically talking about mob violence. If you find, like, someone who left Christianity, or like Judaism in this case, you have to kill him. You have to kill him. And because he sought to entice you away from the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Now, this is important to understand, because the thing is that the verse actually gives you the reason for why this is happening. And it's because God gave you something. You're muted, bro. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. I was saying that, yeah, it clearly says here, you shall surely kill him, and you shall stone him until he dies. I mean, how clear
Yeah.
can that be?
As a matter of fact, this
passage.
verse actually refutes him as well, because it says that because who because he sought to entice you away from the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. So basically, there's a pact. There's
Yes.
like a deal with God, right? The God has helped you. He created you.
Yes.
He did all this for you.
Yes.
Then what you're gonna do is you're
Yeah.
gonna leave him. You're gonna betray him. You're gonna betray the tribe, because you need to understand.
Yes.
Back in the
Yes.
day, the way
Yes.
everything worked is that it was based on religion. A tribe was a religion. Religion is the thing
Yes.
that
Yes.
united
That's
people.
right.
It's like nationhood. Like
Yes.
for
That's
example,
right.
I live in Bangladesh.
Yes.
They're
That's right.
tribe. So it was similar to that,
That's right.
because there was no nation back then.
Yes.
It was basically the religion was the nation.
Mm.
So you had a deal with God.
Yeah.
So if you break that deal, you have to be punished. So I don't even need to go to
That's
the
right.
Quran or like any kind of Islamic understanding. I can just read the Bible, and it even clarifies this, that yes, you have to be
That's
put
right.
to death,
That's right.
and it's
That's right.
justified.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. 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 Okay. So yeah, I think it's clear, right?
I mean, think
That
think
yeah.
of it this way. Imagine a Mexican goes into America, right, without any visa or paperwork. What's going to happen to him?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
let's say that there's an American who renounces his citizenship.
Yeah.
Can he still stay in America?
Yeah.
No, he'll be
Yeah.
he'll be forced
Of
to
course
be
not. Mm.
he'll either be locked up or kicked out. And let's say that he says that, you know
Okay.
what, I don't want to be kicked out. I believe that I can live wherever I want to live. Then in that case, he'll be killed. He'll be killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why will he be
Yeah.
killed?
Exactly.
Because he had a deal with the state that we're going to give you
Yeah.
some privileges as long as you obey some of the rulings that we have. As long as
Yes.
you
That's
don't break this pact, right? As long as you
That's right.
stay as a citizen, right? But if you revoke your citizenship, you don't pay us tax, you don't like do all these other things that you have to do, then you have to be punished. You have to be punished. And that punishment, and if
Exactly.
you refuse to
Exactly.
be punished in any way or shape or form, you have to be killed. So it's the same thing. It's
Yep.
just there are more steps to it, but it's the same thing. The heart of the matter is the same. Because the thing is that you have a tribe and you're betraying that tribe. Now, either the tribe can be based on nationalism or democracy, or it can be based on theology or religion. You know, it can be based on God
Yes. Yes.
or Book of God. So either way, when you violate that, there has to be punishment, and that's what apostasy law is. And this exists in all forms.
Yep.
It exists in the sense of laws of treason. That's also a form of apostasy law. You know, or it can exist in the form of like betraying your nation in some way, shape, or form. For example, what happened with Snowden and like Julian Assange and all these people. So it's clearly like the Bible itself justifies this. So for him, Robert Spencer, to say that he has a massive issue with Islam, but when he says that he doesn't have an issue with this, it's hypocrisy. Like a 5-year-old child can see this.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. And he I think he mentioned something about, oh, we don't follow the Old Testament laws, we only follow the New Testament laws now. Something like this, which is quite in contrast to the official Christian position. I mean, not official Christian
By the way,
position
can
per
you
se,
can you
but
invite
basically
brother
what Jesus said.
servant of Allah?
Yeah.
Can you invite
Okay,
brother
I think
servant of
he
Allah?
wants to be on.
To
Okay,
come to the
all right.
stream.
I didn't see the comment. Yeah. Okay, let's give him
Sure.
a chance, please. Okay. I'll just give
By the
him
way,
a
it's just
screen
for
card
this
and then he
brother.
can hop on.
Please don't let anyone else. I think maybe he's
Okay, all right.
he has something to say.
Yeah.
Add here.
Yeah. All right. Sure. I'll give him the link. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I already did. Okay, I posted the link. Okay. So so shall we continue with the video?
Sure.
Okay, hang on. Switch it back again. Yeah, this guy again. Yeah, this guy again. All right. So shall I play? Oh, okay.
Sure,
Never mind. Before I do, Brother Saban Awar is on. Okay. Let's bring him on.
Oh.
Assalamualaikum, Brother Daud.
Assalamualaikum, bro.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, brothers.
Walaikum assalam, bro. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to first of all.
Yeah.
Is there an echo, I think?
You're breaking up, brother.
Maybe.
I think
yeah, it sounds
there's
fine.
some sort of latency on your side. There's a bit of a latency on your side, but other
Okay,
than that,
I
it's
think-
okay. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's gone now. I just wanted to first of all congratulate you,
Okay,
brother,
right.
on your 5,000 subscribers, mashallah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I noticed
Thank
that as
you.
well.
My subscribers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah. Right.
So
By the way,
interesting what
bro, are
interesting
you
what you guys
subscribed to
doing.
my channel?
I just did.
Are you subscribed to Islamic
Alhamdulillah.
calling?
I
Oh,
just did.
see? It worked.
Subhanallah.
It
But
worked.
don't we know each other from chats on streams? I don't know. Just by chatting.
I think
I'm not
I think
100%
I saw
sure.
you on my channel before, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, good work, guys. This is just a. I'm gonna. I'm just gonna be quiet, but if you ask my opinion, I'll let you know, because yesterday, the day before, we did um, a review on the debate as well, and we scrutinized with the evidence the part of the lies and
Right,
stuff like
right.
that. And inshallah,
Right.
let's do that,
Right.
inshallah.
Right.
By the way, do you have
great. That's
do you
great.
want to add something in regards to this whole apostasy claim, like like this argument that they make regarding apostasy law and what this? Do you want to add something?
Well, yes, I could add something. You explained it well, um, to be able to understand it logically. But the people who don't know how to make a distinction between an apostate and a apostate who is actively doing something to basically look for the reward of the punishment. So being an apostate in an Islamic country, you're not gonna get sentenced, you're not gonna get bullied, you just خلاص, you just apostate. But if you go against your community and you preach against, and that's basically where the law intervenes. If you're corrupting the community, and that's seen as treason, like you said, and treason in every country is punishable by every country. Every country. So
yes.
yeah, people don't know that difference, and these people, these shayateen here, they're taking advantage of that, like playing the victim. So you'll see, you'll still laugh.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's
Yeah,
not
brother.
just, it's not
Yeah,
just-
bro.
yeah.
That's sorry. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask Brother Daud a short question regarding Rashid. Yeah, I think he's quite known in the Arab-speaking world, right? Because you are a speaker of Arabic as well.
He's known, but not in the sense that you would think that he created it in a natural way. He was funded. Because he was involved.
Okay.
He was involved, and he was basically hired by CIA and FBI to consult on
Do you know
extremism.
something about his? I think he's from Morocco, right? And you have some ties to Morocco as well. Do you know something about him that we don't? Maybe you would like to share.
Oh, so I was talking about Spencer, right? Sorry, Rashid, the other one. He's a Moroccan.
Spencer, Rashid, yeah.
Yeah, Rashid. I'm ashamed, honestly. I'm Moroccan myself, and that's what the stream you heard yesterday. The stream we did. He is literally crying his out. He has his periods, and he's emotionally blurting out things that are. He's a shaitan. Whether he has 600,000 followers, that doesn't prove anything, like brother said, at all. So go on.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
right.
bro.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. By the way, I noticed that I know you are from Morocco. I know there's an earthquake recently, so if you guys want to, if someone wants to make dua or like help out, please do. We send our dua, make dua for our brothers and sisters in Morocco. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easier. Inshallah. And by the way, how are you doing in regards to like the earthquake? Did it like hit you or attack you in a separate form?
Well, brother, alhamdulillah. I mean, I'm Moroccan origin, but I was born and raised and live in Belgium. So, but alhamdulillah, I only had one really dear friend of mine who lost his life due to it.
Oh, inna lillah.
Yeah, well, he died shahid, alhamdulillah. So keep everyone in the du'as.
Yeah. Any of your family
Not
members
only
were affected
Morocco.
in
No. We're from the north,
Alhamdulillah.
from Tangier. So Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
But keep in mind
Alhamdulillah.
also
Alright.
the other brothers and sisters in Libya.
Yeah, the Libyan,
as well.
the Libyan flood. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you can just do dua for that. Thank you, brother, for bringing that up.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
of course.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining, Aki.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So shall we continue with this two shaitan?
Yeah, let's continue.
Okay, let's continue, right? Okay.
But those who do it, they think, oh, well, now I have done something that Allah has commanded, and He will bless me for doing it. And me, myself, because I was standing up for the freedom of speech, 2015, Pamela Geller and I put on in Texas a Muhammad art exhibit and cartoon contest. And it was actually, we featured a lot of classic Shiite Persian
pause
art
it?
depicting Muhammad, as well as contemporary.
Okay, so it's gonna go.
Okay,
It's gonna
yeah,
go on
yeah.
like 4 hours if we keep pausing like this. But so what he said,
Yeah,
like
that's
he
right, yeah.
completely contradicted himself in this same sentence, because the thing is that at one point he says that, oh, being an apostate doesn't mean that every Muslim can go out and carry out this punishment, and then later on he says that,
Exactly.
can you go back a little bit? I can show what he said.
This one.
That every apostate has to always go around watching himself, because you have to have somebody who's willing to do that. But those who do it, they think, oh, well, now I have done something that Allah has commanded, and He will bless me for doing it. And me, myself, because I was standing up for freedom of speech.
Can you pause it?
Yeah.
So basically, it's a punishment.
Yeah.
It's a punishment. Why would people think that, oh, Allah will bless me? Like the point of punishment is to deter crime.
Yes.
Like, does he not
yes.
like understand the distinction?
Exactly.
Like that, no one is happy to punish people. Like, that's not the point.
Yeah. No one is
Like-
going
Brothers,
to go around punish
sorry,
people.
Yeah, the double standard here, and you'll see it during the whole thing. It's double standards, right? So, like you said
definitely.
in the beginning, he threw his first Old Testament down the bus. He's gonna do it with the New Testament as well. So what he's basically saying here is, that he's justifying that basically we are blessed if we, for example, apostate, like we punished an apostate. First of all, in the Islamic law, it is not up to us. This is the Islamic court, Sharia court, who has a very thorough investigation and scrutinization before they even can, allow such thing to be. That they need proof evidence to the max, and that's why it never happens. But then,
Exactly.
and I think you guys who know more about the Christian side, they in their scriptures, they are the ones who should punish them, like the people.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's each
Yeah,
individual.
Yeah.
You should stone him to death.
We just-
Like it's not the
We
authorities.
just read the
Exactly.
So we just read the Deuteronomy verse, and it literally says that if you hear someone enticing you, you should kill them. I mean, it literally says mob
Yeah,
violence. You should kill
exactly.
them, and everyone should stone them and things like that. So it's
You
not
stone
like
them.
a
Yeah.
court.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not like a
They
judge.
take it into their own hands. So what is more
Yeah,
violence,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, it's mob violence basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
It's more violent.
and
Basically,
that's the thing,
it's
like-
vigilante violence. Yeah.
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 So basically, the thing is that
Yeah.
what I wanted to bring up was that he's basically contradicting himself. At first, he says that it's not that everyone can go out there and punish people, but if everyone cannot go out there and punish people, then why would they think that it's something that's good? Because it's a punishment is basically it's upon the judge. It's upon the judge to carry it out.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
very
Basically, it's the
stupid.
ulil
Can I
amr who
ask
decides.
Can I ask a simple question to you, brothers? A simple logic question. How would
ahead.
I know that you are an apostate in a community, in an Arab community under Sharia law? How would I know?
Unless
If you
if you
tell me.
show some signs. Yeah. If you show some signs
If
of
you say it
apostasy. then,
publicly.
Yeah. Yeah. If you say it
Exactly.
publicly, then yes. Yeah.
If you tell me,
Yeah.
then
Only-
okay,
Yeah.
there's no harm. But the moment you're
Yeah.
you're showing it by disrupting, you see, hate speech,
Yes.
there you're basically asking for it, because you can
Exactly.
live as an apostate. You know what I mean? Like the
Yes.
Christians and atheists and Jews have been living under the rule of the Sharia and Muslims in the Spanish Inquisition and in the Ottoman Empire, etc., there was no problem. So he's basically, like you said, deceiving and using the word apostate, and he is not applying it to himself. And like you said, brother, I'm sorry, your name, brother Islamic calling. How can I call you?
You can call me
just call him
Fahad.
Islamic calling, brother.
Fahad. Okay, Fahad.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, Fahad. Yeah, so what you said earlier is double standards and contradicting himself. Well, this is the epitome. This is the epitome, like the climax of literally contradicting themselves and double standards. So enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's continue.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
2015, Pamela Geller and I put on in Texas a Muhammad art exhibit and cartoon contest. And it was actually, we featured a lot of classic Shiite Persian art depicting Muhammad, as well as contemporary art that was from a more critical standpoint. And a couple of jihadis came from Phoenix, key members actually of the Islamic Community Center of Phoenix. One of them was featured in a recruitment video for them, and they tried to kill us. And so I actually would be also under death sentence just for drawing Muhammad and for...
Pause? Do I pause that? Yeah, you want me to pause that?
So basically, he's saying that he drew a bunch of cartoon, or he showed a bunch of cartoons, and he quoting these people as jihadis. Like, what makes them jihadis exactly? Like, what is a jihadi? He doesn't like define what a jihadi is. Like, how are they jihadis? Like, if I like go to like that's like me saying, right? Imagine an American goes into a bar and starts a fight there, right? And can I then call him an American general, even though he's in the military? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can I call him like imagine like a police officer? Yeah, a police officer goes to like a bar, I don't know, like a gay bar or something, that beats up beats up a drunk person for no reason when he's not on the clock, right? Is that then, can I call this person a cop at that moment? No, because he's committing a crime.
Yeah.
I mean, like, like, what makes a jihadi? A jihadi is a soldier, right? He's a soldier who's fighting for God. If someone is committing a crime, you're not fighting for God. So how are you a jihadi then? Like, he misuses the term jihadi, and he does this all the time. Like, both David Wood.
Yeah.
It's like, I can, like,
all of them. Yeah. All those Islamophobes. Yeah.
Anytime like they have an opposition, they'll use the label jihadi, and they try to like kind of like mischaracterize this label because it's a beautiful label.
They try to put
jihadi means someone who's struggling, both physically and spiritually, right?
Yeah, they try to use this label as though it's violence, as though Islam is representing violence, and therefore, you know, if you are a jihadi, it means that you are a Muslim, and therefore, if you are a Muslim who commits jihad and you are a jihadi, it means Islam is violent.
What's funny? What's funny is that if I call these guys this clown Islamophobe, they get upset because they said, oh, there's no such thing as a phobia for Islam. But they can go ahead and call like random people as jihadis, criminals as jihadis, but we cannot call them Islamophobes.
Exactly. I mean, they get totally upset when we call them Islamophobes because that's what they really are. Okay, you see, it's the thing. Yeah, and and look at his test. He's promoting his book, his latest book. Oh my God, look at that. Yeah.
Did you read it?
I have a copy of. I have a copy.
I think you read it.
Yeah, I have a copy here. I have a copy right here. Where is it? I can't find it. I don't think it's here. It's somewhere here on my shelf.
I think the biggest problem is that he didn't read it.
He probably didn't even read his book, right? Probably he probably got a ghostwriter to write it. Who knows? Yeah, we don't even know whether he really wrote it.
Exactly. And the double standards here are just quickly, very quickly, is everyone's a jihadi. Every person in the world is a jihadi. Because first of all, jihadi is a word that's been made up because there's no word that doesn't exist. Jihadi that doesn't exist, and like the brother Fawad said, that it is struggle. So everyone is struggling in life with everything. You have exams for
Yep.
school. You're struggling, so you're jihad. You're struggling against your soul, yourself. You're jihad. So what they're doing is they're picking
Yeah.
and they're choosing and they're just trying to follow the media.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Yeah.
and
That's
a
that's the thing.
and
So
calling him a clown, in my opinion, is a compliment to him. So I think literally a clown is entertaining, at least.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I wanted
yeah,
to say.
so
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
basically, in logic, there's a logical fallacy known as the equivocation fallacy. It's when you use the same word to mean two completely different things, and then act as if like they mean the same thing. For example, the word jihadi is obviously something that's positive in Islam. We believe it's struggling against evil, right? However, if you're committing a crime, obviously you're not struggling against evil, so you're not a jihadi in that case. So they're misusing this term and they're applying it in a case where it means something else. Where because when they say jihadi, they mean a criminal, right? They don't mean the jihadi in the Islamic sense. And then they also use this to imply that, oh, this is what Islam says, and go to a conclusion that, oh, look, Islam is talking about promoting a criminal behavior, which doesn't follow. It's a fallacy, right? So it's like a 5-year-old. It's like a 5-year-old child can spot these fallacies, you know. And this guy is like a best-selling author. I mean, like I said, like he said, like the brother said, like calling him a clown is like a compliment compliment to him.
Guys, I just wanted to clarify. Did you already watch the thing before, or is it the first time?
Yeah, I watched it.
I've only watched it halfway. I watched it
Okay,
halfway.
okay.
I haven't finished watching.
Okay, just so that
Yeah,
I'm
I
aware.
haven't finished
Okay,
watching.
okay. And you, brother Fawad, you watched the debate before?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Okay, great. Okay, good to know. Thanks.
So let's
Okay, shall
continue.
we continue playing? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
or sponsoring people who do, which I did not in order to cause gratuitous insult, but to defend freedom of speech and freedom of expression, which is the foundation of any genuinely free society.
Danny, what would you say to that? What's your response to that?
Yeah, so just a few points here. Number one, it's interesting how we want to talk about Islam as a religion, but the religion is 95%, like what Jake mentioned. It's about worshiping God, being devoted to a righteous way of life, loving your neighbors, taking care of your parents. That's what 95% of Islam is about. Yes, there are criminal punishments, which we're going to discuss. There is conquest, there is war theory, there's all of this in Islam. But it's interesting how when a conversation is about Islam, we focus on that 5% instead of the 95% of what Islam is about. We don't see this kind of double standard with like Christians. So if you have someone like Matt Walsh is a traditional Christian. There's slavery in the Bible. There's punishment for blasphemers in the Bible. There's killing of heretics in the church tradition. There's no discussion of that with Matt Walsh, right? Or Ben Shapiro. There is killing of blasphemers in the Hebrew Bible. There is, punishment for apostasy in the Talmud. There's no discussion of that with Ben Shapiro. You can talk about, other values, and that's what the discussion focuses on. But the Islamophobic narrative is just lasering in on these specific topics, which is fine. We can discuss that. But I just want to note the double standard. So the other framing of this whole discussion that I want to put out here, though, is that I'm wondering that this standard of there should be no punishment for.
So basically, clearly, like one thing I noticed with this, like this kind of like Bush era Islamophobes, is that what they try to do is they try to make Islam particularly somehow special than other religion in terms of promoting kind of like violent behavior, because at that time they thought that this would like help them win the war, right? So basically, it's like a propaganda piece. So they're using propaganda against Islam. But the problem is that nowadays the war is basically over. So most of the kind of like extremist groups, like I don't know, most of the extremist group basically have died down, and so basically now these guys are useless. These guys are useless. I think their funding have stopped. I mean, no one really cares about quote unquote war against jihad, or like his website is basically it's probably going out of money, right? Jihad Watch, because most of these terrorist organizations are no longer active. So these guys have basically become obsolete, and these kind of like Islamophobic arguments have also become obsolete, and everyone can see it.
Yes.
So
hey, there's this. By the way, brother, there's this Christian in the chat. I think it's evangelical. Is talking about Islam. I don't know. Can you see the chat right now? Do you want to address? Do we want to address some of the things that he or she says?
Not really the main topic to view. We can just focus on the video for
now.
No,
I mean, just in brief, because I want to deal with this person. Okay, can I deal with this person
sure,
first?
you can.
Yeah. Okay, all right, let me do it. Here, okay, the first comment that this person says that is that your prophet does not exist. There is a grave of the prophet in Medina. All right, you can always visit the grave. Right. Okay. All right.
We have his belongings.
Yeah, we have his
We have his
belongings.
belongings.
We have physical evidence of the prophet. Okay.
Okay.
But your
What prophet? What
yeah,
prophet? We have so many.
I think he's talking. He or she is talking about the prophet, the Rasulullah, obviously, what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. but the point is that
Jesus
we do
doesn't
have
exist?
yes, because Jesus doesn't have any physical evidence on right now. We don't have any evidence of Jesus actually. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I think I agree with brother Psycho. We should just ignore this type of comments. It's gonna take time away from
yeah.
the stream because it's a
I
very long
agree.
stream.
I
Three or
agree.
long
I
stream.
agree.
Let's just continue.
Okay. Okay. Just to greet the brother here.
Assalamu
Okay, so
alaikum,
brother
brother.
Malcolm says assalamu
Brother
alaikum.
Malcolm.
Yeah. So wa alaikum salam.
He's
Yeah,
my
okay.
subscriber. Let's continue.
Oh, he's your subscriber. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Just ignore the troll for now. All right.
Sure.
Blasphemy, for example, let's just put that out there. There should be no punishment for mocking and insulting a religion, attacking people's values. Is that coming from a Christian perspective? Is that coming from is that coming from the church tradition? Is that coming from the Bible? Because when we look at the Bible, we see in Leviticus, we see in Deuteronomy that blasphemers should be put to death, even if you entice. The Bible says
So
if you
basically, we
entice,
kind of said that. You
son
can
or your
skip
daughter
this,
or your wife
skip
entices
the
you to
portion
worship.
of Brother Daniel. I think
Yeah, we kind of dealt with that already, right? Yeah.
Judaism,
Yeah.
after the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, the rabbis redefined Judaism so that even they don't teach that those punishments have ongoing validity. So you're talking about something that nobody in mainstream Judaism or Christianity thinks is valid today versus...
Pause. Okay.
Yep.
That's lie. That's a lie. So
That's
he's basically
ridiculous.
saying the rabbis
ridiculous.
don't say there's any punishment. Which rabbi said that?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
which rabbi said that?
It's in
What
the
is he
Talmud,
talking-
man. For heaven's sakes, it's in the Talmud, okay?
I mean,
because
go
Jews-
to any rabbi
Yeah.
and then ask about these verses, and they'll say, this is talking about violence. Like, you can even.
Yes.
I think you showed me one of the clips of like a rabbi in one of
Yeah.
your past streams where he's talking about the marriage of marriage at like
Yeah,
3-year
Rebecca.
age. Yeah. So
Of
yeah,
Rebecca.
these rabbis they accept these laws. Like, what is he talking about?
They don't have any problems with it. Yeah, they don't have any problems with it. You see, so
And he doesn't give any citations. He just said, "Oh, the rabbi says," like which rabbi? It's nonsense.
exactly.
And that's
Exactly, it's
clearly a lie.
nonsense. Yeah, it's nonsense. Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah.
is something that unfortunately all too many Muslims do think is valid today. And the bringing up of ancient historical wrongdoing is all very well. And there's certainly a place for that. I've got no interest in denying any of the misdeeds of Christians throughout history. But the problem that we have in Islam is that these passages of the Quran that are problematic, passages of Muhammad's traditions that are problematic, they are still considered to be enforced by very large numbers of Muslims, such that all the major terrorist groups around the world are Islamic groups. And you don't have any Christian terrorist groups saying Jesus is Lord and blowing people up. There's a reason for that. And the reasons have to do with the interpretative traditions in both religions.
Can I comment?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I would ask Robert a very simple question that I think gets at what the real issue actually is. Do you believe that it's inherently immoral for an apostate to be put to death?
This is the
I
moment.
believe that it's inherently immoral.
This is the moment he gets
Yep,
Well,
this is
I know
the
that's some
moment.
kind of trap,
Yep.
but in any case,
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
just
see any
looking for
reason.
honesty on your part, that's all.
You can always have honesty on my part. Everything I tell you is the truth.
Okay, so
And
go
the fact is, yeah, I don't know.
Everything he says that he tells us is the truth. How delusional, Robert. How delusional. Okay. Okay, anyway, let's
I haven't thought
continue.
about it. Okay, you haven't thought about it. Well, you're writing all these books on Islam,
How are
talking
you
about
criticizing
apostasy,
Islam?
and you don't even know if this is inherently immoral. That's quite
No,
shocking, Robert.
I would say that I don't think that it's moral to put the apostate to death.
So it's
But
immoral.
when it comes to my books about Islam, I'm just reporting on what Islamic clerics and the Islamic tradition teaches about passages like when Muhammad says if somebody changes his religion, kill him. So
No,
if
you
you look,
don't.
for example, in chapter 4, verse 89 of the Quran, in the critical Quran, where it says if they turn renegade, then come and kill them wherever you find them, then I give Islamic authorities who actually say that this should be done. And that is something people need to know. Now,
Yeah,
whether
in
you're talking about
war,
an ideal society,
Robert.
Yeah,
heard of it?
I don't think so because I
exactly.
believe in the freedom
Have you heard of
Exactly.
warfare?
The idea that
Yeah, I mean this guy does it confuses things. Okay.
Oh,
the
no.
dignity of the
Yeah.
human person, which is a Christian concept, it's not
Can you
Islam.
pause
You have
it?
in Islam, the unbelievers are the most violent.
Okay.
Oh,
right,
no.
Right.
Islam says that you should kill your enemies in war. Shocking. You should kill enemies at war? What is he talking about? That's no.
No,
You
you
should
should not
give
kill
up
enemies in
your
war.
enemy.
You should give them flowers and chocolates and let them kill you first. That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
You shouldn't
You
kill
know?
enemies at
Shouldn't,
war.
shouldn't you give them
You
your
can't
left
kill
cheek?
animals in war.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. You should give them
give
the
them
left
a
cheek
left
first, and then let them your left cheek, and then let the right cheek, and then let them slaughter you on the spot. Okay, that's not Islam, right? Okay.
Kill enemies in war. What is he talking about? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a crazy idea, man. Going
It's
to war,
bad,
bringing
man.
weapons, and then no, we should not do that. We should be going to war, but we
By
should
the
give
way,
them flowers and chocolates.
what's
That's the
the
best way.
yeah, what's the main problem here is that not only are these people
Yeah.
simplifying historical event, they're simplifying it
Yeah.
to such an extent that it's dumb beyond understanding. Like even if you tell a child, okay, so there's this passage. This passage is saying that, oh, you should kill people, in war.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
he or she can understand. Okay, but in war, shouldn't you kill people? Isn't that the whole purpose? Like an armed conflict, isn't that how that works?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like-
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole point of war, isn't it?
Yeah. Now you could argue whether that war is justified or not. At least there would be some validity to it. But he's not even doing that. He's just saying, it says that armies should kill like other armies. Like in war, you should kill people.
Yeah.
Oh, horrible.
Yeah.
Can I add something, brothers?
Sure.
Go ahead.
What's the difference between the war that they're talking about and the war in Islamic understanding?
Their
Yeah,
war involves killing civilians and wiping out all the cattle, whereas in Islam we are not allowed to do that. Yeah, it's control.
Exactly. So there's no
violence is
rules.
control.
There's no exactly. So basically, they kill everything that's in their way: women, children, kids, elderly, cut down trees, nature, and Islam Sharia. The Prophet ﷺ gave us guidelines that they are not to be. You see, even in war, they are not to be touched. They need to be protected, even if it's from the opposite. And if then even a male fighter surrenders, you have to make sure that he is brought safely out of the battle. So imagine what difference. So war is not just war in every sick mind like this guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like if you
Exactly.
read like Sahih Bukhari or Sahih Muslim, there are entire like chapters dedicated to warfare, what you have to do in regards to it, how you should act. Like for example, there's a hadith
Let me see if I can.
where it talks about how Muawiyah radhiyallahu anhu, he refused to go to war when he learned that the Prophet discouraged people, breaking treaties. Because the thing is that as long as you have a treaty, you should not like try to break that treaty. So if there's a peace treaty between you and some other tribe and whatnot, then you have to uphold that treaty. And Prophet ﷺ made treaties like that. So first of all, the war is decided by the leader. It's not like some random thing anyone can declare. And on top of it, there are codes of conduct, like you cannot kill civilians. And even in worst case, that there are some exceptions where maybe in one example is brought up, it's like the nitrates. But even in those are the exceptions. And if accidentally people die, then you're exonerated because that's an accident, right? However, intentionally, if you can avoid killing civilians, you have to avoid killing civilians. And that's like the main rule. So I thought this is the most humane way you can talk about in terms of warfare. But if you look at like the Bible, it's way more violence. Like for example, in the Bible, there's like the only like code of conduct that is in the Bible is against Jews to other Jews. It's between Jewish people. It's not against Gentiles. For Gentiles, you can take Gentiles as slaves. You can kill them. You can beat them. You can do whatever you want with them, because most of the Old Testament, at least the Old Testament, is not for the Gentiles. So a lot of these rulings, kind of like that, they love to promote as peaceful, are mostly for the Jewish people. It's not for the Gentiles. So that is another piece of context that we have to like recognize. Like for example, they'll talk about even Jesus sometimes talk about like a woman came to Jesus and she said like she asked for help and he basically called her a dog. Now obviously you could say that this is like a metaphor, but the point is that obviously these rulings of the Old Testament and that they consider ethical are mostly for Jewish people. It's not for like Gentiles, Richard Robert Spencer and all these other people. Like for example, these rulings wouldn't apply to these guys, most of these guys. Of course, like they will say, it doesn't apply because Paul like saw in a dream something. But in general, like most cases, if you look at these rulings, it doesn't apply to them.
But brother Fahad, it's Fahad, right? Not Fawad. It's Fahad, right?
Fahad.
Sorry, Fahad. Leaving the Old Testament aside, because they threw that onto the bus. Is it in the? Is that also available? Like, is that also present in the New Testament?
Yeah, I mean, like even you will find anti-Semitism in New Testament all the time.
Worse, even worse.
Yeah.
So they're basically, yeah, like I said, double standard, deception.
Yeah. Even in the New Testament, like there are passages about violence. There are, like, for example, if you read Revelation, this is something Daniel brings up, Revelation and all these other like passages in the New Testament. There are a lot of violent passages. But either way, let's continue, inshallah. By the way, what are you trying to find, bro?
I'm trying to find the hadith on war, on jihad. Okay, give me a moment. If there's any particular verses, a particular hadith where it talks about.
I have some hadith here. Don't worry about it. Let's continue with the stream, inshallah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'll quote them later on. Let's just continue.
Okay.
Don't worry.
All right.
Created beings according to chapter 96. So, no, this is I understand. This is all the same issue. Whereas in Christianity, all people are equal in dignity as made in the image of God. And so, in that sense, I would say, no, I don't think it is.
So, is it inherently immoral? Yes or no?
Can I answer that?
It is. So, when Deuteronomy, since you like to quote the Quran, when the Bible says this in Deuteronomy 13:6, if your brother, the son of your mother, your son of, or your son of your daughter, the wife of your bosom, or your friend, who as your own soul secretly entices you, saying, quote, let us go and serve other gods, which you have not known, neither you nor your fathers, of the gods of the people which are all around you, near to you or far from you, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, you shall not consent to him or listen to him, nor shall your eye pity him, nor shall you spare him or conceal him, but you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be first against him to put him to death, and afterward the hand of all the people. And you shall stone him with stones until he dies, because he sought to entice you away from the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. So all Israel shall hear and fear, and not again do such wickedness as this among you. So let me finish. I got the passage. So when your loving God, Jesus Christ, who you believe is God, who revealed the Old Testament and revealed this as a law for the people, and you said that it's inherently immoral for the punishment of apostasy to be death, then you are charging your own God and supposedly loving Jesus with immorality.
Not at all.
If you don't see that contradiction and hypocrisy,
it's not well, it's not at contradictory or hypocritical, because that is God actually doing something directly. Now the question here is whether the Muslims, when they put people to death for apostasy today, are likewise authorized by God in some direct manner. Now,
so like, look at his response. It's completely circular. Like he's saying that, but I can do it because my religion is true. Yours isn't.
No, I can.
How do you know your
religion
is true? You never demonstrated. You never proved it.
My God.
You just said, just saying your religion is true doesn't make it true.
Yeah.
What's he saying?
It's dumb. It's a dumb argument, man. I mean,
it's circular. It's circular. Like, basically, for example, if you guys don't know, there's in logic, like there's this fallacious argument. It's known as circular reasoning, where basically you just assume your argument to be true, and you go to a conclusion. But obviously, it doesn't follow like that. Like, for the imagine if I said I'm the best, I'm the most smartest man. I'm the smartest man in the planet. Like, would that make sense? No, because I just assumed I'm the smartest. I didn't prove it. Same thing here. They're saying that, Bible is true, that's why it's okay. Like, you didn't prove that Bible is true. So, like, from an external Christian, non-Christian point of view, why should we accept that? This is so dumb. Yeah. And that's his response.
Basically, he's saying like, that his God allows it, and therefore, Muslim. What is the justification for Muslims to do it? Because
our God also allows it.
Yeah, so, exactly.
What's the argument here? Like, it's a circular reasoning.
Exactly.
So he's basically a presuppositionalist. He's just saying, I think my book is true, therefore whatever my book says is okay. Yeah, but that also applies to the Muslims. That also applies to the Hindus. Yeah, that also applies to the atheists. Like, how does that justify anything?
Because he's an Islamophobe. That's why he's making stupid arguments like this. You see, that's pretty much boils down to it. Okay, he's not willing.
Like, anyone can say that.
Okay, I mean, yeah. His religion is fine because God orders him to do so. But if we do it, it's not God ordering to us to do so. Okay, so that's the
why is it from God? Because I said so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, shall we continue? Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, the question is,
it's not inherently moral. It just matters what is the correct religion and whether or not God is actually revealing it.
Yeah, if you study the Old Testament, you will actually find that there's a great deal of discussion about passages like that and whether they are actually commands by God, whether they were understood by the faithful, interpretations by the faithful. The evolving understanding in the Old Testament and the New, and in Jewish and Christian tradition, is something that unfortunately is absent in Islam, such that in Jewish and Christian tradition you have the understanding of the dignity of the human person that ultimately made people realize that putting people to death for apostasy was not something that was acceptable. But the idea.
What nonsense are you talking about? We just read the Bible. We just read the passage where it's
dignity of human person was crucifying Jesus dignified. Was crucifying an innocent person dignified? How's that dignified?
I mean,
according to their narrative.
Yeah.
By the way, bro, can you let me finish? Then maybe you can.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So basically, according to their narrative, right? They have a situation where an innocent person was crucified for the sin of other people, right? How is that dignified? Like they said that we honor the dignity of human beings, like, but you didn't in the case of Jesus, like at least in the God, like man part of Jesus, right? They did crucify them. For what reason? No reason. He was innocent. And then in the Old Testament, you have all these genocides which was done on innocent people. So like, no, Christianity does not dignify innocent human beings. It doesn't. It only dignifies people that it thinks, is beneficial to their version of God.
Yeah, exactly. So as I was saying, I was going to say that the whole theology of Christianity is based on the idea. No, it's okay. But basically, it's like this: the whole idea of Christianity, the basis of Christianity today, is based upon the idea that an innocent man, a sinless man, according to them, has to die for the sins of the world. He has to take in the curse of sin upon himself. Galatians chapter 3 verse 13. Just look it up. And then this man had to die on the cross as a sacrifice in order to atone for the sins of the world. How is that dignified? How does that give dignity to the poor guy
he died in a very brutal manner? It's not like he died like just in a normal way, like in a bed or something.
Exactly.
He died almost being naked, tortured, bloodied, an innocent person.
Yeah,
right.
That's
for
not,
what?
That's
because
not
of something
to
that
me.
people never did.
That's not exactly. It's not even his sin. It's not even. I mean, they claim that he's innocent, but yet he died for the sins of the world. Okay, he had to die in a brutal manner, and his blood has to flow in order to atone for the sins of the world. That's really brutal and very
that's the
undignified.
thing about Christianity. I mean, if I'm being honest, like Christianity is a very kind of like cult-like, strange religion. If I'm being completely honest, no offense to
you're not wrong.
But
you're not wrong.
It's a very weird cult-like religion. Like they literally believe their God died, and his flesh is something. They even believe that they can eat his flesh, right, or something like that.
That is the Eucharist. Yeah, they call it the Eucharist. So the bread represents there's bread and wine presented during the Eucharist.
Mm-hmm.
So the bread represents the flesh of Jesus, and the wine represents the blood of Jesus. Yeah. So they do this every Eucharist.
Imagine how strange this is. Like they literally believe they're eating like flesh of like their God, like blood of their God.
They're eating the flesh, and the flesh of the God, and drinking the blood of the God.
It almost sounds like a horror movie, doesn't it? Like they're eating the flesh of an innocent person, like cannibalism. That's cannibalism.
That sounds like
even if you think of it like as some kind of a metaphor, like that. Like what kind of metaphor is that? Like that they're leeching off of an innocent person. Like it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing.
The whole theology is disturbing. I don't want to say anything more because at the expense of the
like
Christians,
compare this with Islam. What we
believe
is that we believe in one God, and we believe He sent messengers of God. And sometimes there are reason for violence there because of rulings, because we want to make sure our society is civilized. And there's no crime.
The whole idea of someone dying for the sins of the world is ridiculous.
And then someone dying, killing an innocent person for like sins of other people. We don't have nonsense like this. If you just use simple understanding, you can see which one is real, which one isn't.
Exactly. We as Muslims we have a personal relationship with God. I know Christians like to use this word personal relationship, but in Islam we actually pray to God directly. We do supplication, we do dua directly to God. But Christians they need a man to die for their sins, and then they use that man as an intercession, as an intercessor to God, which is to me really quite dumb. It's quite pagan. In
Brother,
fact,
can you read
this is
Brother
the
Malcolm X's
yeah.
comment? I think he left a comment. Innocent soul.
Which
something.
one? Timestamp. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, innocent soul sacrificed to purify the souls of others. Sounds very pagan. Exactly.
It is.
It's very
It is.
paganish kind of
It is
idea.
pagan. It is pagan.
Yeah.
It is pagan.
It's
No argument
very
for me.
pagan.
It is pagan.
I mean,
It is
you have a
pagan.
situation
Period.
where a demigod died basically to kind of like,
Yeah. Yeah. And you know one thing about these Christians, they claim that they worship the Holy Spirit, but they don't mention the Holy Spirit at all in their liturgy. I mean, very, very, very rarely. They most of the time they will say the Son.
Oh, by the way, bro,
Jesus,
can
the Son,
I request something?
Jesus.
Can you make someone a mod in the chat and get rid of this kind of like Christians speaking nonsense?
I'm a mod.
I can put.
But
Yeah.
So if you want me to just type in the private chat and I'll do it.
I've done
Or
it.
you can do
Nah,
it
no
now.
worries. I've done it myself. I just did it.
Yeah. By the way, don't like mute
I just did it.
any Christian if the Christian is being respectful or something like that. That I wouldn't have a problem. But if they're like being nasty and like
I mean,
spamming,
no, if they're trying to basically if they're trying to preach, I will just ban them. All right. So if they preach, I'll ban them. If they ask questions and if they want to discuss, then sure, why not? Okay, but if they're preaching and then sorry.
I literally wrote down that everyone be civil and don't use foul language or you will be banned. So until there's no insults, they can make claims to whenever they want. So
they can make claims if they want. But if they won't be allowed to preach, right? If they start preaching, oh, Christ is the savior, Christ dies for your sins. No, I wouldn't allow that, right? Okay. So anyway, let's continue with the video, I guess. Yeah.
Let me say
one thing. There's a comment I want to kind of answer.
Which one?
It says Jesus Christ is just a human messenger. Brother Saiful, I think, says that.
Where did he say this? I can't find it. Do you have the time?
Saiful is...
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ is just a human messenger of God, exclusive to the Israelites. He didn't die on the cross, nor was it sacrificed for sins of all. Yeah, exactly. So basically, what we're saying is that we're assuming that even if we assume that the Christian position to be correct, it still doesn't make any sense to like say it's still very disturbing. Like the ideas they have in their religion are very disturbing. It's not like normal, you know. That's
exactly.
That's what I'm starting to make.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
I just want to add one thing. Alhamdulillah, that we're
Go ahead.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah.
That it was a localized command at some point or understood to be such, that is not the same thing as
Localized
nowadays thinking
command.
they're the executors of the wrath of Allah, because Muhammad says if anybody changes his religion, kill him, and the Quran says that you can soothe your heart by fighting the unbelief.
Yeah, but by the way, he's referring to the hadith in case no one knows this, is man badala dinahu faqtulu. So this is a Sahih hadith, okay, from Sunan Abi Dawud. So the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever leaves his religion, then kill him. But there is a context to it, of course. Okay? Okay, so let's continue.
And so on.
Because this concerns me. Do you believe I should be put to death?
I believe that the punishment for apostasy in a correct Islamic state is death. I believe that that's the correct. You finish. Let me just respond. Sir. I believe that that is the correct punishment, which has been revealed by God both in the Quran and the Bible. And for Robert to turn around,
I asked you. Let me finish. I asked you to believe I should be killed today.
And I answered you, sir.
Yes or no?
I answered you.
Yes or no?
By the way,
you answer.
Look at this guy.
Why does he want to be killed so badly? I can't believe it. He wants to be killed so
yes
badly.
Or no, brothers. Yes or no, brothers. Yes or no.
Yes
or no.
Yes or no? Do you want me to kill? Do we want me to be killed? Dude, like no, we don't want you to be killed. But like the way you're behaving, like you should be kicked out, definitely. Like what kind of question? This is clearly like such a stupid
what
question.
Kind of dumb question?
Like
it's like
no,
a rapist
no
coming to a
wants,
police show.
as long as like they live in a secular society, like especially in America.
You see the the analogy is like this. Let's say there's a police show, and then the guests are here, and then suddenly a rapist comes to the show, and they say, "Oh, I raped someone. Do you want to arrest me? Do you want to arrest me? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you want to arrest me? Yes or no? Yes or
exactly.
no?" It's like this.
Yeah, exactly. Like imagine.
It's really dumb, right?
That's perfect, actually. I was gonna use as analogy similar to that. Yeah. So basically, imagine a bank robber comes to the police station and says that,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you want to punish me? Do you want to punish me for robbing a
Do
bank?
you want to arrest me?
You want to punish
Yes or
me for
no?
robbing a
Yes or
bank?
no?
Yes or no?" So stupid. Clearly, you're committing a crime. So yes, you're a criminal by definition.
Yes,
yes,
you are.
you will
criminal.
get
By
punishment.
definition, yes, you are. Exactly. You don't have
So
to ask
the
the
question
stupid
should
question,
be:
man.
if someone commits a crime in a particular context, in a particular country, should they be punished? That should be the question. And the answer is yes.
Exactly.
Like no one would disagree with that. Because the thing is, even if you don't agree with the law of a country, you still have to obey the law of the country because you have a deal there. You have this contract, like I said before. You have a contract with the government. They give you safety. In return, you have to obey certain rulings, right? Like this guy just a troll. He's like the things that he's saying is just absolutely stupid.
Brother Aladdin has given us. By the way, Assalamualaikum Sheikh Aladdin. Brother Aladdin, he actually.
Assalamualaikum, bro.
He's actually commented. Yeah, so there you can read this.
Rashil
Yeah.
is a troll. We know him since 25
Troll.
years, and he's doing this for a living, like a GW reacting always some stupid claim. I didn't know
Who's
that.
GW? You mean DW? I think does he mean DW or
maybe David
GW?
Wood?
I guess DW. Yeah, I
sure.
guess David Wood. Yeah. I guess he's the like I said earlier in the stream. He's the Arab equivalent of David Wood, actually. Yeah. He means DW. Yeah, he means DW. Yeah, DW.
David, okay.
Yeah. That's why I said earlier on in the stream. Yeah, he's quite well known in the Arab-speaking world. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, if any of you guys, by the way, ever get approached by ex-Muslims and they ask you a stupid question like this, "Oh, do you think I should be killed?" Let's turn around the question and say that, "Do you think criminals should be killed?" Yes, I do think criminals should be killed if they commit a crime. Now, if you want to argue that from a meta-ethical point of view, or like some kind of like, I don't know, debate like meta-ethics or like things, whether it's the punishment or the concept of punishing someone who goes against the state, is that like ethical or not? Then most people will say that yeah, that is ethical. Like if you want to stay in a country and the country is going to give you certain privileges, then yes, that's the deal. Like no one's going to disagree with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the argument against it?
Yeah.
And if you really have a problem with it, yeah.
There's another comment from Brother Sydney Football. Yeah. By the way, Assalamualaikum, Brother Sydney. Good to see you. This is one of my core supporters of my channel, by the way. Okay.
Nice.
So yeah. So he says the punishment for treason in Western countries and in all countries is the death penalty. Apostasy is treason. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no problems with that at all. Yeah, Imagine a spy walk into the FBI office and says, "I did treason. Yes or no? Do you want to arrest me? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?" I mean, that should be a meme, man.
Yeah.
If I could just interject here, I totally agree. But and earlier in the stream, we have to not forget to distinguish, because the definition of apostasy is not treason. Because you can be an apostate and just be an silent apostate.
Yeah,
it is the apostate who acts upon it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
so this is something that's important to know. And if someone comes and asks you, like you said, an ex-Muslim or someone or everyone comes and asks you, "Should you kill me?" Just say yes and allow it. You see, like.
That's Brother Aladdin again. Yeah. So brother, he says that Rashid is known to us Arabs from 25 years ago, and he runs away from debating with Arabs. He always repeats the same claims to make money. Okay, understandable. Yeah, he's a fucking troll, right?
So one thing, I feel like I need to distinguish, which is that now, of course, like we're not saying that they're exactly like treason, like they're committing treason. Obviously, there is distinction. But I'm talking about the main kind of similar factors. Like for example, if you clearly there are rulings when it comes to government when you live in any country or any kind of society.
Of course.
If you break that, that is treason in terms of like similarity of how it works. Like for example, if you live in any kind of company, you have certain rulings you have to obey. If you live in any country, there are certain rulings you have to obey. Apostasy, the law of apostasy works in a similar way. Not that it's the same thing, but it works in a similar way where like you have a certain protection that is given to you from a political perspective, and you have to respect that. And if you're not going to respect that, then what's the point in staying in that country? You can just go to some other country. Like for example, I live in Bangladesh. Like imagine if I said that we have a law here that says that you cannot marry until you're 18, right? They made this law, and I break that, and I say that why am I being punished for like breaking that law? That's a very stupid question. So
the law is there.
It's similar in that sense. Of course, like we're not saying that apostasy is the same, because from an Islamic point of view, obviously it has a much deeper meaning. What it means to be an apostate, what exactly constitutes a murtad, and what's the deal with that? So there are a lot of complicated, kind of complex stuff regarding to that.
Yeah. But let's establish that if we're talking about these two individuals, this is the perfect example for a definition of the apostate that is trying to be like shared in the world. Like this is how they want them to be
public
seen.
Apostate. That's what we're talking about. Public apostate.
These people are going to go under an Islamic state. They will go to court, and then whatever punishment there is, right? They always go to the worst case scenario. So that's the difference between someone who's just an apostate at home. He lives his life, or he, and you will even hear him say later that it says in the scriptures that if you don't pray, they should kill you. Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Someone is at your window looking if you're praying or not, and if you don't pray, they'll kill you. Literally, it's going to become so stupid. Trust me, when Rashid the shaitan will start talking, it's gonna be on his periods, and get your tissues out, because he's gonna make you cry.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing with these people is that there's no point really to make these distinctions, because these are disingenuous people. Like they're gonna assume that it means that. And one thing I do like about Daniel is that he doesn't waste time with this kind of like nonsense. I mean, you can distinguish this and that. I mean, like there's so many things wrong here. Like we just have to go to the main issue here. But I hear what you're saying. But regardless, let's continue, inshallah.
Okay, let's go. All right.
A proper Islamic jurisdiction, an Islamic nation, all of the laws of Islam and the Sharia as revealed by God should be applied. So if we were in that kind of state, would you do it? Including with proper due process, with a proper court hearing, just like any nation of laws. The laws of the Sharia,
like what we've been saying.
Death penalty for not only apostates, but also blasphemers.
You didn't answer me, yes or no?
We didn't.
Yes, we didn't.
Yeah, so I should be killed.
We didn't.
I deserve to be killed because I left.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Okay, thank you.
Yes or no?
This is a fallacy. This is a fallacy.
Fallacy.
You have it too. It's a
Yes or no fallacy.
Yes or no fallacy. So it's yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. You don't
fallacy.
Have to ask this.
Yes or no fallacy.
Okay. I'll continue playing.
It's a fallacy. Let me finish.
Do you want to be killed? Yes or no fallacy.
Let me finish.
This guy is a clown, man.
Let
He's a
these
clown.
people
From
talk.
Christianity to Islam, your life is not under threat here in the U.S. I converted from Islam to
Your life
Christianity.
is
My life is under threat. That's the difference between
I'm
Christianity
under
and Islam.
threat. Yes or no?
Yes. How many Christians have died?
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
How many Muslims have actually been killed or died going from being a Muslim to a Christian?
There's no data on that, because these kinds of things are not recorded. They're not considered crimes.
There shouldn't be, even if there's some stories to be able to say
They're not recorded because they're not considered a
this
crime.
is another thing, another tactic. Like a lot of these murtads use. They're like this kind of fake virtue signaling for fake sympathy, like for themselves. They're saying that
exactly.
My life is in danger. Like really, you're living in America. How is your life is in danger? Like, of course, like if you're gonna live in America and you're gonna constantly mock and insult, belittle other people's religion, then some people, of course, there will be some people that are gonna be angry at you. Like for example, do you know that in Bangladesh we also have atheists that I didn't even know they were atheists because they don't talk about it. They never say anything.
Yeah.
Of course, in
Yeah.
my country, like we don't have like Islamic law, sadly. So there's
Why
no
didn't you kill
repercussion
them?
like this. Yeah. So basically, there are atheists here. And
Why didn't you kill him,
they
brother?
Huh? Yeah. So we do have atheists here. And the thing is that what's funny is that I learned the other day there's like this big famous YouTuber who's an atheist. I didn't know. He's like the science guy. He promotes science and whatnot. But anyway, so I didn't even know he was an atheist because he doesn't promote it, you know. So you can live that life. You can easily live that way. Like you can simply live your life and you don't promote it, you don't have a problem. But if you're gonna go out there and you're gonna make enemies or like mock other people's religion, mock other people's ideology, and then when
like what Russia has
there's
been doing,
backfire for that, and you have a backlash for that, why are you crying?
Exactly.
You asked for this. Like, do you honestly think that I can just go to a bunch of people, a group of people, and let's say that I go to an LGBT rally, right? And I say something very offensive. I use the F word, right? Brother MENJ sometimes uses it. Imagine I use the F word.
I use it all the time.
I'm gonna be out of that place like no tomorrow. Like I'll be in jail.
Exactly.
Not even jail. I will not even
because
make
you actually deserve it.
out of that street.
Yeah, because you say in the wrong place. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like
you know the way you describe it, it reminds me of our good friend Apus. Okay, exactly like that, right?
Excuse me,
Yeah.
friend?
Apus.
Astaghfirullah. Friend?
No, not friend. I mean it sarcastically. Okay. No, don't take it literally. I mean it sarcastically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rashid is his dad. If you didn't know, that's his dad.
Yeah.
So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
they fit each other. Yeah. They are a match
Yeah,
made in
I would.
heaven for each other. Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't even call him by his name, so I just call him Shaitan and Kidab. Because he's now known for that, so people will understand.
Yeah. That's right.
What was he saying?
Okay.
Saying something. Let's continue.
Oh, brother Malcolm. Okay.
1 second,
Malcolm has a
brother
comment,
Fawad, someone is talking about Bangladesh. So I think you have respond to that.
Bangladesh did have one Murtad blogger killed in period. Brother Fawad knows. Yeah, so it involves not necessarily apostates, but it's more to do with politics. Like for example, some of the Murtads that live here, they're also very active, like in politically active. So they were speaking out against certain innocent Islamists to be put to death. They were in jail.
Okay.
By the way, based on false evidence, they were not actually guilty. Most of them are not, at least. And they were asking for their death. And they were chanting that these people be killed, innocent people, by the way. And as a result of it, they got backlash. And there was political violence in regards to this. So, some of them were attacked. But it's mostly based on the political situation here, not necessarily because of because we have Islamic law, Like further, there are some open atheists here, and there's some closet atheists, open atheists. Although, we don't have a situation where you can have people like an Apus. Obviously, that's not gonna fly. You're gonna go to jail. But we do have atheists who don't acknowledge God, but they don't really promote Apus level kind of like apostasy. You know what I mean?
Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah. Unfortunately, in Malaysia, it's the same thing as well. We do have apostates running around. Same thing. We have apostates running around, but they are a bit active, but they are underground and they are in Facebook groups. They don't promote. I don't think they dare to promote it outside of people, because if they were at Apus level, then they will get it. They will get a lot of flack, and people, Malaysians especially. Although we don't have Islamic law here per se, but we do have the Sharia courts, and the Sharia courts do have some laws empowering them to arrest apostates. So it's not the level of the Sharia, but it's still the Sharia with regards to the hard law on apostasy, but it's there. The law is still the provision. It's basically just a fine. It's a fine and jail time. That's it for apostates. So it's not that stringent. It's not that stringent as Sharia. Okay.
Also, by the
Sharia,
way, the one thing he said, regarding, I think he says something about that he cannot go back to Morocco, which I believe is not true. Although someone in the chat, if you guys can correct that,
maybe Brother Aladdin can confirm it, but Brother Aladdin did say something about his. Yeah, maybe Brother Aladdin knows whether.
Well, let me tell you, I'm Moroccan, and
so is it true that he cannot return to Morocco?
Well, it depends. Now, I don't think they'll let him in because of that. But that's
because
different.
of that, okay. Because he said he couldn't enter Morocco.
Yeah. There's no apostasy law because if it's distinguished in treason, if you're acting against, it's enforced by law, you're hurting the community, then of course it doesn't. It's not a religious. It's basically a security breach. So they will deal with you.
Yeah.
But there is no law for apostasy for death penalty. That is never. I even had my best friend yesterday on the phone from Morocco, and I told him this, and he started laughing his ass off. He was like, "What? There's you know how many Christians and Jews are in Morocco? There's Christian churches. I mean, are you serious? He's using this just to play a victim, like he had to flee.
He just wants to give sympathy. Yeah,
money.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because. Yeah, I think it's mostly because he wants asylum, and he's trying to make sure that other, scoundrels like him can also get asylum. By the way, it's similar to what happened in Sweden, like that scoundrel that burned the Quran. Like, it's a stunt. It's a stunt to get asylum.
That's different. The Morocco, you have to know that the law in Morocco, it is hard to get a visa to get somewhere. You see?
Actually speaking, actually speaking about asylums, there was this couple, this Malaysian couple. Unfortunately, they apostatized to Christianity, including their 5 children. That I actually pity the children, not them. But then they migrated to Australia, and then once they were in Australia, they started attacking Islam from there. They were posting the wife, especially, she was posting nasty statements and all kinds of nasty accusations against the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So the thing is, there's a pattern to it. Every year she does it at least a few times a year, and then she stays quiet, and then in the next cycle, the following year, she does it again. So I also think that may have something to do with getting asylum. So she wants to renew her asylum status or something like this. Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right, but I think the bigger chunk, if I'm talking about Morocco specifically, but it applies everywhere. It's not asylum that they're seeking. They just want a better. They always think that the grass is greener at the other side. They want to go to the west. They to bring in more money, and it's not that easy to apply for a visa and just get a visa. You see what I mean? So if you do a stunt like his, you're going to get support by big money investors who are against Islam. So it's going to make it easier for them.
Okay,
that's basically his deal.
Okay. Yeah,
so it's
I think it's the same. I think it's the same thing for the couple as well. Yeah, I think it's the same thing for that Malaysian couple as well. Yeah. By the way, I did a reaction video to them on my channel before, and it's right at the moment. This particular video is the best performing video on my channel. Okay, until today, I did it. I recorded this reaction 3 years ago, and until today, it's still my best performing video on my channel. Okay, nice. But it's in Malay, so you probably would not. Yeah, it's a mixture of Malay and English. So if you want to, you can watch it. There is subtitle. I did put some subtitles in it, so if you want to watch it, you can refer to that.
Right? Brother Sydney Football says, "Why does? Can you read that? Yeah, why does every Malaysian?
Because Australia is the nearest English. Partially true. Yes, unfortunately, it's
what's
true,
funny is that this
because
is also
Australia
true
in
UK and America for Bengalis, right? You will notice that most of the worst like apostates are Bengalis.
Yeah.
Like I saw the other day there was like this gay marriage. It was like this two Bengali idiot. Like I'm like why?
Okay.
Like why is it like that you have to like embarrass all Bengalis? Like, I don't get it. So anyway, let's continue, inshallah. I mean, we're getting off topic.
Before we continue, Brother Alham says more friendly with this guy. Yeah, it's true. I think Brother Alham, let me speak in Malay a bit. He's a Malaysian. Brother Alham mungkin kenal lah dua pasangan ni, yang Sharifah Fal dengan Yusri tu, dua pukimak tu. Kenal kan? Tahu kan? Okay. Oh, Brother Silko wants to comment. Go ahead, sure. Put your comment, Brother Silko. But anyway, let's play the video first. Maybe Brother Silko can put his comment later.
XYZ individual.
I have stories. I have one in Mauritania who was condemned to be executed. We just got him out to Paris because we negotiated.
Can you go forward a bit? I think we've kind of covered this aspect.
Okay. So which part do you want me to go forward to? Next chapter. This one.
Do they say anything important here, or can we just skip this to the next part?
I don't remember.
And we should note that they endorsed the death penalty.
Oh, women.
Yeah, they're still talking about death penalty.
Sorry, brothers. I think this is the most important part. If the shaitan speaks, that's where all the allegations are going to come out. That will have to rebuttal, because it has to do with his emotional periods, trauma, life, and you'll see what he's going to try and drag and filth and badmouth our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's the point, honestly.
Okay. Assalamualaikum, everyone.
By
Just
the way,
a quick comment about the Bengali.
Assalamualaikum, bro.
Waalaikumsalam. There is a inferiority complex with Bengalis, and there is a lot of Bangladesh is heavily influenced by India, and there's a lot of things in Bengali communities and practices which is actually Hindu or Indian in origin. Things like tabiz, the wedding ceremonies. So when it comes to actual knowledge of Islam, it is quite lacking, especially with the side of the creed and doctrine. Most of the people are culturally Muslim. They do pray, they do have a belief in Allah, but they don't have a deeper understanding. So that kind of has an effect. And the other thing is they're not really asked to question as they're growing up their religion, like we are in the West. And that has an effect.
Can I respond to a bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's not entirely true, to be honest. Like, for example, there are like very popular Muslim speakers here. Like, for example, a few days ago, one of the speakers that died, Theological Society, he was very, very, very popular here. And he was so popular, he's even popular in India, I believe. And when he died, if you notice the YouTube, Bangladesh YouTube site, you will see all the trending videos was about his death. And yet, when one of our politicians dies, like one of the big politicians, like no one cares, because he was an Islamic speaker. He always spoke about like bringing Sharia law into the country. Now, obviously, there are like difference of opinion, and there's a lot of infighting among Islamic scholars. But yeah, in the sense that there are like I would say that there's a lot of innovation here. Like they're not exactly in the in terms of like creed, there's a lot of creedal differences. So there's a lot of innovation on like going to like the go to the pyramid, go to grave worship and that kind of stuff, that kind of nonsense. But I would say for the most part, if you go to the more non-city areas, like the areas that I live in, people are generally kind of religious, So I would disagree with that, but I understand what you're saying. And there are like, if you look at most like secular areas, like for example, in the city areas or the public universities, then yeah, you're definitely right. Most of the Muslims, they're not very religious. But if you look at outside, like if like for example, in the areas that I live in, people are actually quite religious. That's the distinction I'll make. Yeah.
No, I agree that people are generally, you'll find away from the cities, away from the universities, people generally are religious.
Yeah.
But generally, these kind of people, most of them, when they go to places like the city or university, when they get into, they've never had to actually articulate or put in a position where they have to defend certain practices in their faith, which They know some of them will know it's true, and they will try to defend it in many ways, but they can't articulate it properly. And I think this is the reason why when we do have someone popular from Bangladesh, that they become very popular. But this is the issue that we find generally. To be honest, not just Bangladesh, you'll find that in other places as well, even in my experience in London, in Poland here, and in other countries. But there does seem to be quite a big influence of the looking up, especially in the academic areas, of looking up to the Western achievements. There doesn't seem to be there doesn't seem to be something like we can. And I think this is a problem with a lot of, not just Bangladesh, but a lot of developing countries, is that the dream is always never to kind of improve the country. Majority is like, how can I improve myself? How can I go to another country? One of the phenomena that I looked at was South Korea, for example. A lot of the South Koreans are becoming.
By the way, Aki, but sorry to interrupt. By the way, we're kind of getting off topic.
Sorry.
The video. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
let me drop off then. And Assalamu alaikum.
Sure, no problem. Thank you for joining, by the way.
Wa alaikum salam. Yeah.
Let's continue with the video, inshallah.
All right. Okay.
Husbands, my mom was beating my imam dad. When I asked him why, he said it's in the Quran.
boy.
You cannot object to that. You cannot object to it. It's in the
My mom was beaten by my imam dad.
My mom was in the Quran. What you
It's
saying?
It's a permission for men to beat his
I
wife.
don't
It's in the
know.
Quran. It's the word of Allah himself. Again,
the
when I studied the
Quran.
life of Muhammad in 10 years,
Stop, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
everyone
this
heard
is,
he
this
said
is basically
my
what you
imam dad, right?
Yes.
That's what he
This-
said.
Oh,
this
he's
is
talking
where
about
this-
beating. Why beating?
No,
Okay,
but
why beating?
he said
I'm talking
my
about Surah
imam,
Nisa. Yeah.
my imam dad. Hit
My
was
imam
beating
dad,
his wife.
My imam
Oh.
dad.
Okay.
That's what he
His
was saying.
imam dad
Yeah, my
beat his
imam.
wife. Is this true?
His father's not an imam, of course not. But he can justify it because imam, the definition of an imam means leader. So if you're at home, you're
Yeah.
the imam of the house. You're the leader of the house.
Yeah, you're the imam of the
So
house.
yes, in that
That's
sense.
right.
And
Anyone can be an imam, right? I'm an imam too.
And
I'm an
he's
imam. You're an
complaining
imam. You're an imam. Everyone's an imam.
We're all
Everyone's
imams.
an imam. So you're all
Imam
imams.
Robert
we're all
Spencer.
imams.
and if his father imam was beating his wife, apparently
Yeah.
as an imam, he didn't have a miswak at home, so then he used something else, I think,
Yeah,
to beat her.
Yeah, poor guy.
exactly.
He doesn't have this. This.
Exactly.
He's afraid of this. Afraid of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And brothers,
Oh my God.
you're more knowledgeable about the Christian scriptures. What is the verse where it says that if your husband, if a man attacks your husband and he's overpowering him, and the wife
It's in the
is
Bible.
trying to save him, I don't know, maybe if you can
It's
bring
in
it up or
Leviticus, I
something.
think. I don't remember where it is, but I think it's in Leviticus. I don't exactly remember that verse where it is exactly.
I think
brother Islamic calling is it up.
To paraphrase, I think it's that. So imagine you're in bed with your wife.
It's in Deuteronomy 25:12. Let me read it.
Can you show it? Can you show it and read it? I think it's easier.
Deuteronomy.
Let me share.
Wait, can you share it, brother? Yeah, you share it. Edit. Yeah.
Deuteronomy 25, verse 11 to 12. It says the following: When two men are in a fight, and the wife of one of the men, trying to rescue her husband, grabs the genitals of the man hitting him, you are to cut off her hand, show no pity.
Oh my God.
Can I share?
Okay. All right. I don't have to say anything else.
Can I share?
Yeah, go ahead. Share. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please do. Yeah, go ahead.
There we go.
Share it. Yeah.
I prefer that than a miswak. Miswak is worse.
Yeah, well, miswak is bad. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. This is better, right? Can you make it larger? Can you zoom in?
Show her no pity. The woman, the mother that took care of you, that provided for you your whole entire life and saved your life, and Yeah, but the Bible says, you know what? We got to cut off your hand. So, you know what? I'll let you choose, left or right. I'll give you that choice, left or right.
But it's okay. It's okay because a kind of like Roman kind of like supposed God said so it's okay. Who died on a cross.
Yeah. God says so. Yeah, God says so. So it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
So
Yeah,
it's fine because
yeah. Because the miswak is not from God, therefore
man
the
died
miswak
on
is
a
not fine.
cross for
Yeah, miswak is not fine.
no reason for other people's sin. He said that it's okay, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the miswak is bad. You cannot hit your wife with the miswak. It's bad.
So
cutting off her hand is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So by the way,
Okay.
Brother Malcolm actually shared another verse. Can you share that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
1 Timothy 2:12, it says, "But I suffer
this
not a
Paul.
woman to touch, not to usurp authority
teach.
over man, but to be in silence." Yeah, exactly. So, and there are plenty of verses in the Bible.
Basically, this is saying that if a woman is not silent, you can beat her.
Yeah.
Oh, Brother Aladdin also commented on this. Yeah. Rashid has a problem with his father beating his mom, but he has no problem with his God being beaten to death on the cross in a barbaric way in the name of love. And he calls such ugly beating of Jesus as love. Exactly.
Yeah, by the way, think of it in this way, right? So basically you have a situation where God, who's supposed to be the father, tortured his son for the crimes of other people, and that's supposed to be okay. But if your wife, like, I don't know, like does something, is not listening to you, is doing something wrong, and you warn her,
brother,
and
trust me, the Christians can't explain it. Imagine if you try. So it's nonsense. So don't try to no one will understand it. It's satanic, okay? It's satanic to think that you're eating the flesh of God and drinking the blood of God. And it's an insult to the Muslims that they are blaspheming our dearly beloved prophet Isa alayhi salam. And we are taking exception to that.
Yeah.
So this is basically that hurts us if they say these things, because they're lying against one of the mightiest prophets in Islam.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Astaghfirullah.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah.
Okay, so
even the thing of it's horrible. So okay,
like
so let's continue.
Beating thing.
Yeah.
So basically, I made a video on this against Apos. If you guys want more detailed response to this, you can check it out. So basically, the point is that the verse
on this.
Yeah. So also, brother MENJ has an article. So if you guys want more detailed response, you guys can go to our channel. I can go through the website of brother MENJ. So in summary, basically, the point is that the verse doesn't say you can abuse your wife. It basically says that you can basically hit them in a way that doesn't hurt, in the sense that it doesn't cause any bruise, or like it's basically a warning. So in Islam, the relationship between husband and wife is basically in a very friendly manner, where you know how sometimes your friends does something stupid and you just hit them like this. So it's kind of similar to something like that. It is supposed to hurt, but it's not like abuse in any shape or form. It's not something that can cause like a bruise or a mark, or it cannot make it bleed. The husband also cannot like slap the wife or something like that. So it's a warning, but it's not abuse. So what they're trying to argue, or at least they should be trying to argue, is that it's abuse, but that's false. It's not abuse. It's simply a warning, a friendly warning. It's like, imagine you're warning your friend.
Third stage warning.
Yeah.
Like after
imagine your friend
having separated from 3 nights from the bed, and then you see. But what people don't understand is that in Arabic meaning, the word daraba, right, that is used, does not only mean hit. Okay, it has other meanings. Okay, if you go into the dictionary, there is a meaning. It can be interpreted as separate. Separate. So daraba could mean separate. So subhanallah, of course, even the ignorant Muslims, unfortunately, they they don't want to look into it, and they just basically.
I think to be a bit fair, which is that I think Ibn Abbas, or one of the companions, he basically explained it as like hitting someone with like a maswak or something. So I do understand what you're saying, but I think if we go by the Salaf, or like the early generation, how they explained it, I think that's probably the best explanation. And again, as I was explaining, like it's not beating in the sense of abuse. It's like when your friend is doing something wrong, you're like hitting them like this, to warn them, and that's it. Like it's not abuse. And if the wife doesn't like it, or something like that, or if you don't have that kind of understanding between your wife, where if you like hit your wife and your wife doesn't like it, then you shouldn't do it, because that could lead to divorce, right? And the Prophet also said a good husband doesn't like beat his wives. The Prophet never beat his wives.
I wasn't trying to interpret the verse. We know very clearly that it has been interpreted already. But I'm saying that the option of looking at a word and instantly single it out from other meanings that it has is very dangerous. Of course, we have strict hadith of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There was a slave woman who came to knock at his house, and she complained that her master or the owner or whatever slapped her, and the punishment was that she was to be set free, because it is against the law. You cannot hit a person, let alone a woman. So you see, they're just ignoring the straightforward, clear verses and hadith. They're going into the ambiguous, and they go and get lost and turn into this shaitan that we're seeing on TV or on the screen at the moment. But guys, this is very important. What he's going to say, I think it's even better if you slow it down a little bit, because I think out of the whole debate, that's the most.
But the thing is that we have to actually cover a lot, and I think it's getting late.
Yeah.
It's been late.
Sure. But
so we have to speed it up.
It's just the following.
And also, I don't think he says anything important. I mean, I watched the stream, so. Here's what we can do. We can cover for like another 30 minutes or something. Then after that, we can end the stream, inshallah, because it is getting late here. And I'm sure like the brothers have other things to do. So let's go through it. And if there's anything important, we can pause it.
Bismillah.
Okay.
83 wars in 10 years, 27 wars and 56 raids in 10 years. And you are going to teach me that Islam is peaceful? No, it's not peaceful. Are you going to give a Nobel Prize for somebody who waged 83 wars? No, you will not. And another thing, Muhammad is not a rule.
Why would the Prophet want a Nobel Prize? It's not important to get a Nobel Prize.
Someone commented underneath that says that when he says that, why would someone get a Nobel Prize when he is involved in like wars? Yeah, Barack Obama got a Nobel Prize. How many wars has he been involved in?
Like, Lot, one or two, at least two or two.
Like
one or two wars,
another thing he said. Another thing he said is that it's so stupid. Like he said that he's been involved in war. How can I follow him? And this and that. The thing is that
don't we give Nobel prizes to people who are alive? I've never heard someone getting a Nobel Prize if they're dead. So I don't know why he's bringing that up.
Only when they are alive. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and for example, Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was involved in war.
Yeah.
So, do you reject Abraham Lincoln? Do you reject American democracy was established through war? So, like, what do you have left then? I'm not even talking about Christianity. Like, look at American politics. Like, which war wasn't America involved in? So, you don't reject America. You don't reject those ideals.
In general, what is the importance of a Nobel Prize? Like, what does it prove? Nothing, right? But what is important?
Zero.
That we have in history.
Zero value.
The most influential man in history, written by authors, Christian Jewish authors, out of the most top 100 most influential people in history, who was always on the first number one? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And their God. Wait. Guess who was the second one? And he was a Christian author. Guess who was the second one, guys?
No.
Guess?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was Paul.
Paul, exactly.
Paul,
Moses,
Paul.
then Jesus. Because Paul was the creator of Christianity and not Jesus. Subhanallah, imagine.
Yes. Michael, you're referring to Michael Hart's book. Yeah.
So another thing is that like what I was trying to get at was that, so basically he's saying that he's been involved in war and this and that. First of all, he was a leader of his community. Like he wasn't like where does he get this idea that if someone is waged war, that person cannot be followed? Like, where is this idea coming from? Like, is that in the Bible? No. Like, is Bible like promoting pacifism? No. Was Moses committing war? Yes.
Committed war.
Was Jesus
was committing war? No. Moses was.
Yeah. I mean, was Jesus telling people to go to war and commit genocide? Yes. So, like, what's the criteria here? Like, what are you talking about? Like, the prophet was involved in less war than Jesus was involved in. Jesus is supposed to be God. Like, he's been involved with all the wars in the planet. All the wars that has happened, right? It's happened under his nose.
Yes.
So, like, that's the thing. Like, these Christians, they don't understand that you're comparing Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, who's a prophet. And, of course, he had to lead war because, like, he was in a time period where he had to do war to survive, to make his community, to save his community, to protect his community.
Isn't that a role model?
To save his people.
Isn't that a definition of a role model? A warrior?
Yeah, exactly.
A leader?
Exactly. Yes.
Subhanallah.
Yes, exactly. These people are, they are bankrupt of ideas. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Let's hasten this because it's already almost 11:46 p.m. here in Malaysian time, so it's quite late for me.
Jesus is. Muhammad, he had many wives, 11 of them. One of them, she was 9 years old. He was 53. I am 50. I cannot marry a girl that has 9 years old. You cannot. That's abuse.
The Aisha argument again, I think. 9 years old. Rebecca married Isaac when she was 3 years old. So, yeah, I think we don't need to address this. This has been
it's a meme, honestly. This argument is such a meme.
Let me finish this. He raided a Jewish tribe.
Okay, you want to pause this?
Okay, so this argument has been debunked so many times. We're gonna waste our time with this.
Guys,
I think I don't even want to comment on it. Yeah.
1 second. First of all, just to suggest that what would be good for you guys in the future to do a second part, because it will need more and if later on it'll be more scrutiny. But here he's not talking about Aisha. Let's be clear. He's talking about Safiya radiallahu anha.
Oh, okay.
So
Safiya.
And he's talking about
I have an article on that too.
Yes, and he's talking about Rihanna, another woman, a wife of the Prophet, and he's using this. So he's not going to Aisha. So it is important to expose him on this, because it's not the same thing, and that's what he's trying to portray. That's the deception.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So with regards to Safiya, I have an article on this. Let me just show it in brief. Okay. Give me a moment. Let the site load.
Regarding Safiya, I don't think I made a video on this. I think I actually need to make a video on it.
I have an article on this. So yeah. This has been.
But regarding the whole 9-year-old, I think it's clearly referring to Aisha, rather, right? Or like.
Yeah, definitely was referring to Aisha. Yeah.
So that's
well, if you listen further, you'll see that the focus is not on
I think
Aisha.
he jumbled up his arguments, right? So basically, at first he was talking about Aisha, then he starts talking about Safiya, then he starts talking about something else.
Safiya,
but regarding the whole thing about polygyny,
well, he's not making any claims on Aisha. What he will make claims when he mentions Safiya and Rihanna. That's where it's deception, because he knows that he can't use anything
I know
on
what he
Aisha.
said. Right? I know what he said. So basically, just let's go step by step. So first, he talks about polygamy. First of all, there's nothing in Christianity that says polygamy is evil or wrong.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, how many like wives did Solomon had? David, Solomon, they all had multiple wives. Even in most average Americans have like multiple sexual partners before marriage. So obviously, clearly, this guy doesn't have an issue with this.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like what exactly is the issue with like polygyny? Exactly, like.
Did Jesus condemn it?
Sorry.
Did Jesus condemn it?
Oh yeah, exactly. Did Jesus
No, he
condemn it?
didn't,
Is
right?
it condemned in the Bible? No.
The answer is no. No.
Did he get married?
Talking about. Secondly, he starts talking about Aisha radhiyallahu anha. Again, like we already addressed this, like Aisha radhiyallahu anha consented to the marriage.
I think we dealt with that 1,000 times. I don't want to deal with it again.
So he's talking about role model, right? So Jesus was not a role model to show him that he should get married, because he didn't get married.
Yeah.
So you see the double standards here? Okay.
Yes, I do. Because you see, Jesus didn't get married, then why Christians are getting married? That's the point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. So let's continue, inshallah.
Yeah. Okay, I can't load the. I don't know why my website on Asafia is not loading, so I guess we shouldn't wait. So let's just play here.
He killed
it's
the
not
whole
necessary.
family
His argument is stupid. I will show you.
Sophia. And he took her as a wife the same time he was returning to Medina. Would you put that as a role model for me today in the 21st century? He had another wife.
Okay, so pause.
Okay, all right.
So his argument is, the prophet married someone and then took her home. Don't marry someone, then take them home. Like, what's his argument?
Okay.
He has no argument. He's simply saying, he married her, then took her home. So I guess marrying someone then taking them to your home is evil, I guess. So if you marry someone, leave them there.
Guys, I think you should go back 30 seconds and listen to it.
No, bro. I know what he's trying to say. I'm gonna correct his argument. I know the argument he's making. Like he's
presenting
the argument in a very stupid way. Like first, basically, what he's saying is that he married her and then he took her home. Yeah, that's not a crime. Like anyone can marry someone and then take them home. But the argument he's trying to make is that supposedly Prophet ﷺ, married her and then had sex with her against her will. That's the argument. That's a stupid argument because we have evidence against it.
Exactly,
right?
You're right.
And that's something I can show. Hold on. Give me a
what he's saying.
Go ahead.
While you're sharing the screen, brother, what he's saying is to have the extra fear factor. He's saying that that the Prophet slaughtered the whole Jewish tribe.
Yeah.
Kept their daughter, kidnapped her, and forced her against her will to have intercourse.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
So this is, I think this hadith clearly refutes most of this kind of like forcing woman allegation. So it's a hadith about divorce. Basically, it covers whether people can divorce or not, or can you have sexual relation without consent and whatnot. So the chapter says, should a man tell his wife face to face that she is divorced? So narrator Al-Awza, I asked Al-Zuhri, which of the wives of the Prophet sought refuge with Allah from him? He said, I was told by Urwa that Aisha said, when the daughter of Al-Zuwan was brought to Allah's Messenger as his bride, and he went near her, she said, I seek refuge with Allah from you. He said, you have sought refuge with Allah, with the great. Return to your family. Now, does it sound like someone who forces someone against their will? No. He's clearly, the girl said that, I don't want to be married to you. And he said, okay. That's it. This clearly shows that the Prophet ﷺ did not force anyone against their will.
Yeah.
So when he's saying that when this scoundrel says that the Prophet forced someone against their will because her family members died, that's absolutely false. The Prophet would never do that. We have evidence for that. And if you have evidence that he did do that, bring it. We would love to see it.
Exactly.
You piece of shit. Stop lying about our Prophet.
Guys, yesterday I've like I said, we debunked this. I in the chat, in the private chat, I put 2 links. I don't know if you
I'm
guys
sharing the link
can
now.
put it in the if you can put it in the
I can share it now.
links.
Yeah.
You don't need to
I
share
just
it on
did.
screen, but basically you can see the two stories of what happened exactly, and it's literally completely different of what he's saying. He's just yeah. So this is the proof. I already debunked that yesterday, to be accurate. And one second, he named his daughter Rihanna. That was the most funny thing to me. So he's saying that she was kidnapped in a brutal way and she was like raped and all these kind of things. And I called my daughter Rihanna. Bro, hello?
By the way,
are you serious?
You're cutting off.
Yeah, like, do you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. We can hear you.
Yeah. Like, are you serious? That your trauma of your worst enemy, right? The reason why you're hating the deen, you're gonna call your daughter that name. Wow, what a man you are!
Yeah.
MashaAllah, role model.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, regarding Rihanna.
So anyway,
in the
go ahead.
video. So let's continue. I think he's going to bring up this point. Let's go step by step, and then we'll
Okay. All right. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay.
We took a Jewish wife, Rihanna. He did sex with her, not with her will. He did against their wills. All these ladies.
Where's the evidence for this?
Compare Jesus with Muhammad. Jesus
He's
never killed
lying.
a person. He never killed an apostate. He never.
Pause.
It's fine. Yeah. Pause. Yeah.
Lying sack of shit. Where's the evidence for this? Also, by the way, there are different opinions regarding Prophet's marriage with Rihanna.
The evidence is there. The evidence is here.
Basically, some say that she was a slave, and I think some say that she was married to him. But regardless, where's the evidence for this? Like, he makes this bizarre argument without any evidence, and I showed that the Prophet never, did something against someone's will. And if you look at the pattern of the way the Prophet, like for example, when a girl came to him asking for divorce against her husband, he allowed it. Clearly, the Prophet was not fond of this idea of forcing something against a woman or anyone for that matter. So this clearly doesn't fit the criteria of how the Prophet behaved. So if you're saying something exceptional, bring evidence for it. This guy doesn't bring any evidence, right? He assumes the worst of the worst about the Prophet, and we're supposed to accept it.
Yeah.
Like I said,
brother,
this guy is lying sack of shit. Yeah.
Astaghfirullah, what would be the best evidence if it comes out from the mouth of the person who is basically talked about? So I don't know if these links in the private chat, if you can share them on the live chat. It's written, and the Safiya, and they're quoting. Just put the link. People can read it at their own ease. They are saying, so they are talking, and they are saying that the contrary of what this guy is saying. So who are you going to believe? The person who... So yeah, we have the proof. They have conjecture, and this guy is
not
mental.
conjecture. This guy's lying.
This
clearly, he knows that Prophet did not allow these type of things, like how he behaved. Like there's no way, like you don't know about the hadith where he didn't force himself on any woman, and he told people to not beat their wives. This guy knows this. He's a liar. He's a liar.
Yeah.
Sahih hadith, like this is a popular hadith. These are not like unknown hadith.
Definitely.
So,
brothers, I have to leave very, very, very soon. Sorry, but let me just say,
all right.
Thank you so much, by the way. First of all, I think you'll have a lot more work to do together on this on the following, and you're doing guys a great job. I can see that Brother Fahad is very sensitive on every topic that is like, okay, stop there. Okay, that's okay, stop there. So that's very good, mashallah. So everything that he says is just a blatant lie. So I want to say two things. First of all, something that is basically I don't know why funny. So what is his name? This guy, just straight down.
Rashid.
Right.
Spencer.
What else?
I don't know. He's calling himself Rashid Hamimi. I think his name was.
Yeah. Do you on the if you look at the description of the video, he's described. Everyone's has his full name. Wait. Everyone has the full name, and his name is described as Brother Rashid, and then there's his website and his book.
Yeah.
And if you go on his website, there is no last name, so he's scared to write Hammam because Hammam means toilet in Arabic.
Oh, really?
That's
Really?
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
And you cannot find it anywhere, not even on his book. It's Brother Rashid. See?
All right.
And,
that's interesting.
Maybe,
okay.
Exactly. And maybe Brother MENJ, because I will leave on this note. I'm sorry. Could you put your email address in the private chat? Because I'd like to send you just 2 things.
Sure.
But that you might use at the end of your adventure here, inshallah, with your brother Fahad.
Inshallah. Right. Okay, I'll do that. Right. Okay, it's there. Okay. Yeah.
But guys, good job. It was thank you for letting me on, and
thank you.
Keep on doing a good job. I subscribe to your channel, brother Fahad. I'm gonna look into the channels, and I'm going to analyze, and inshallah, good. Let's keep doing the dawah.
Okay.
So inshallah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Yeah.
All right. Let's finish.
So let's continue.
I think we cannot finish the whole thing. So let's just go through like this portion, and then we'll end it, inshallah.
Would it be possible to do a part 2, or you don't want to do a part 2?
To be honest, I don't think so, because these guys were humiliated so badly, and a lot of people are making videos on it.
Okay.
So let's just finish next kind of 10, 20 minutes.
All right.
So he was a role model for me. That's why I left Muhammad and I wanted to follow Jesus. They are going to keep trying and bring.
I wanted to follow Jesus.
I want to follow a man who died
Because he was an apostate. Judas,
for crimes.
I want to follow a man who died like that.
No. I want to follow a man who killed his own son for the crimes of other people.
Even lying. His name is Kaaba. He's Jewish. He the guy who was lying.
That's who Jesus was, according to them.
Yeah. According to them, Jesus was an indicted criminal that was given punishment by the Roman authorities for treason against the state, and he was executed as a criminal for treason. Okay, this is exactly what the Bible says. Okay, yeah. I mean, regardless.
To the prayer and he said,
"Oh, can you pause it, brother?" Brother MENJ, are there? Oh, I think he's stuck.
Oh, sorry. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Sorry. My connection was off just now. So anyway, as I was saying that basically, according to the New Testament, let's put aside the idea of whether he's innocent or otherwise. If you read the New Testament objectively, basically the New Testament is saying that Jesus was tried and indicted and executed for being a criminal, for causing treason to the state. Okay, regardless whether we think that he's innocent or not, let's put that aside, right? So if we were to look at it from a secular lens, why should anyone follow Jesus, right? Think about it for a second. I mean, of course, we put aside of course, we don't believe this is true about Jesus. But if we were to look at it from a non-religious perspective, this is definitely what isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Brother Aladdin left a comment. He said, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu asked Aisha, can you highlight that?
Yeah, this, let
Yeah,
me
Prophet
share,
Muhammad asked Aisha if she were to
Safia,
marry him. If not,
Safia,
he will
yeah.
free her, but she accepted to marry him. Yeah, exactly. There's a
Yep.
hadith, I think,
Yep, exactly. Yep,
regarding this.
definitely. There's a sirah for this. Yes.
Okay, let's continue,
Anyway,
inshallah.
okay, yeah, let's continue.
He said Muhammad praised the guy for killing his own wife just because she criticized Muhammad. So these are the rules that they want to apply today. If you criticize Muhammad, you should be killed.
Can I go back?
Oh my
You think those people they just killed the
Oh my god. Okay,
Yeah.
you want to comment on that?
Yeah.
No.
Let's comment on that.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Can you go back? Like, what did he say exactly? I didn't catch that.
He said something about killing.
Gave him to the Jews, and he never ordered his disciples to kill him. I have people who just criticized Muhammad once, and he ordered his disciples.
He ordered
to go and
his
kill him.
disciple
His name is
to
Ka'b ibn
kill.
Ashraf.
What is he talking
He's a Jewish
about?
guy. They kill him. They
Oh,
He's talking about
Ka'b
Ka'b
bin
ibn
Ashraf.
Ashraf.
Ka'b bin Ashraf.
Yes, Ka'b ibn
Okay,
Ashraf. Yes,
okay.
Ka'b ibn Ashraf.
So he's talking
yeah.
about Ka'b bin Ashraf. I already covered Ka'b bin Ashraf.
Yeah, I also covered this
on
on
my
my
channel. He was
I-
mocking Muslim women. He was
I've also covered it on
breaking
my
the
channel. I've
treaty.
also covered it on
He
my
even
website
tried
as
to.
well.
There are some arguments that says that he even tried to kill the prophet. He enticed people to kill the
Yes.
prophet. So he
Yes.
was a political criminal, and he was punished. That's
Yeah,
it. Like there's
basically
nothing else
basically
to
he
it.
was committing treason, so the state punishes him. Like how the Americans, they sent drone strikes against Osama bin Laden, against Ayman al-Zawahiri, against Anwar al-Awlaki. They sent drones
Yeah.
to kill them.
Yeah,
Extrajudi-
but to be fair, like it's not
extrajudicial
exactly
mission,
the same
yeah?
situation because the prophet
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that time and his
yeah.
community was extremely under threat, and they had
Yeah.
a treaty, and this guy was breaking that treaty, and he was
Yeah.
allying with their enemies.
Yeah.
Right. Imagine
No,
you have
I'm
a
just, I'm
situation
just
where
pointing out.
you have
No,
you
yes,
have America
yes, exactly.
allying with I don't know, like Japan, and then Japan allies with I don't know, like ISIS or like some other terrorist organization.
Yeah,
Gives them
yeah.
support. Obviously, America is not gonna take that lightly. America gonna wage war against Japan, right?
Exactly.
That's what
So,
happened in
yeah.
World War II, right? They allied
Yeah,
with like
yeah.
Nazi Germany, and
Yeah,
they
Nazi
bombed
Germany,
them.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's
yes,
what happens
exactly.
in politics. If you
Exactly.
have an alliance, or if you ally against your enemy, then
Yeah.
that's what happens, And
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what happens. Like, so he broke a treaty
Yep.
because he was not allowed to do what he did.
Yeah.
It's a violation.
Exactly. Yes. Let's
That's
play
good.
this. Yeah.
lied to him. They took him and they killed him. He even encouraged a guy who was blind. He killed his wife. He had 2 kids, and he killed her. He came to the prayer and he said,
Oh,
he said,
yeah, it's talking
Muhammad
about
praised the guy for
Maktoum
killing his
or
own
something
wife
like
just because
that.
she criticized Muhammad.
Can you
Is
pause
he
it?
talking about Matum? Is he talking about
Yeah, the Maktoum or something like that. The blind guy that killed his wife for like mocking the prophet or something like that. So
Okay.
yeah, like we know that like blasphemy law exists in Islam, and why like basically what happened is that we don't know whether the guy who punished him were punished or not, but the thing is that we know that vigilante justice is not allowed. Because there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ where he said that a guy said that if I find a man with my wife, then what would I do?
What should I do? Yeah.
Then he said, wait, what should I do? Wait for the authorities, the Prophet says. Then he says that, no, I will cut off his head. Then the Prophet said that, I know that you're jealous regarding your wife, but I'm more jealous than you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more jealous than me. Which basically means you should listen to the authority. You shouldn't take law into your own hand. So clearly, based on this, we can say that it's possible the guy was punished, or maybe he was given an exception for some ruling. We don't know exactly.
Yeah.
But either way, the general rule is that you cannot take law into your own hand. Vigilante justice is not allowed in Islam. So clearly that's an exception. Even if he was somehow the Prophet didn't punish him, that would be an exception, not the rule. But anyway, we have no evidence that he wasn't punished, or that's something that's good in a sense.
Yeah.
So you cannot use this as an example.
Yeah. Exactly.
But again, these guys are like dishonest. Like in Christianity, like you have blasphemy law. Like people were like there have been books. Like I made a video where I quoted historical evidence where people used to bore people's tongue with like pins. Like they would bore their tongues if they spoke out against Jesus or like Yahweh.
Yeah, those were the glory days when the church was still traditionalist. Now the church are more liberal.
Also,
and
in the Old Testament, it says that if you don't listen to your parents, you have to be killed or something like that. There are a lot of nonsense in the Bible. So
that's normal. That's definitely Old Testament. Okay. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, sure.
These are the rules that we want to apply today. If we criticize Muhammad, we should be killed. Like what happened with the Charlie Hebdo. You think those people, they just killed the people
Charlie
who wrote the caricature
Hebdo.
for Muhammad just because like that? No, because it's written in Islam that they should kill people who criticize Muhammad. So Islam is a big problem. Even the 5% can kill a whole man.
Kill us for not like being complete piece of shit.
Oh, right. We drew cartoons offending your prophet, so we shouldn't be killed. Okay.
Wanna kill
Because
us.
it's freedom. It's freedom to insult. Oh, if I were to draw, imagine if I were to draw Adolf Hitler raising his hand and praising Adolf Hitler, what do you think will happen to me in France? It's a law.
I
It's a
mean,
law against.
I just
a law
made a video
against drawing
this.
Adolf Hitler, praising Adolf
Yeah.
Hitler.
So,
Imagine this.
yeah, exactly. So I just made a video responding to this regarding Sam Harris and all this other kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
And I basically explained, like, obviously in society you don't have absolute free speech. Like, for example, if you have a situation where
Exactly.
someone is mocking someone's child and they're not physically hurting him, is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that okay in that case? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Same way, when you're tarnishing someone's reputation, whether it's the prophet or it's our religion or anything like that, that's not allowed, and that should not be allowed any society. So yes, the punishment is not for, like, you bad mouthing the prophet. It's about the action, the consequence of the negative consequence that it has on people because of that. So it's about the consequence, not the action of you simply mocking the prophet. So I mean, like, you mocking the prophet is not gonna do anything. Brother, bro, are you there? Bro MENJ, are you there? Brother MENJ, are you there? Oh, I think he's stuck. Bro, you there? Uh-oh. I think he's stuck. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, my internet broke down for some reason. Oops.
Oh my
God. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know what happened. Okay. Something went wrong.
No worries. Should we continue? Let's continue.
Yeah, let's continue before my internet breaks down again. Okay. Okay. But anyway,
your internet cannot handle this guy.
I don't know. Maybe my internet couldn't
Your
handle
internet
it.
is mad at this guy.
Yeah. By the way, Brother Servant Owo gave me this email. I just wanted to share this, right?
Sure.
But after the debate, so after the debate, Robert Spencer tweeted this. Okay.
Bro, you're stuck. Oh, yeah. Okay, I can see.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Can you
make it a bit bigger?
So
I cannot see it.
No, this is the biggest I can
Make
go.
it bigger.
Unfortunately, this is the biggest I can go. I'm not sure how to make it bigger.
Watch for Patrick David to convert to Islam soon. When the Islamic apologist on his show defend murdering people for exercising their freedom of conscience, no one said that. Like, who said that you should be killed for saying nonsense? No one said that. They're talking about in an Islamic state, if you break the law, then should you be punished? Like, that's basically what they're saying is the criminal should be punished. Criminals should be punished. And he's saying that, look at these evil people saying that criminals should be punished. How dare they? They say criminals should be punished.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
Anyway, let's continue.
This up.
Yeah. Let's continue
Before my
internet.
We've been here for quite a while. Yeah. And I think your internet connection is kind of like being a bit sus. So, we're there. Oh no. Not again. Hello there. Are you guys in the chat? Are you there, bro? You're stuck. Aki, you're stuck. No. Brother. Oh no, it's stuck. By the way, is he stuck for you guys as well, or like it's just me glitching out? Yeah, I think he's stuck. Let me see if I can reach him on WhatsApp. Give me a second. Oh, it's just me now. It's just me now. Oh no. Brother Jason Skywalker says it does not mean that such an act is evil inherently. He has to believe that his God commanded something which was evil only for his wishy-washy preferences to come along later to reinterpret the whole thing as no, he didn't mean that. I wish I could hop on to speak about this for a bit, honestly. Yeah, sure. Sadly, I think there's some issues with. Okay, I think he's back.
I'm back again. Sorry, my internet is
Okay,
giving
bro.
me a lot of problems. I don't know.
Oh my god, bro.
I don't know what's happening. Oh my
Okay,
god. So I don't know.
you know
Should we
what?
continue this?
Let's finish today's show. Okay. Clearly,
Okay. All right.
I think
all right.
maybe because we're streaming on
Yeah.
like 2 channels, maybe it's putting a bit of strain
Yeah.
on your.
Maybe it's affecting the
bandwidth.
line. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Probably. Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
Okay.
I think we covered most of it. So let's continue for a bit, and then let's continue for 5 more minutes, and we'll end it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you
okay.
have policies that you have to put in place based on social interaction in the workplace and all that kind of stuff. Now, you may make amendments to those policies based on new data, new information, how things are actually going based on those things that you put in place. Now, when you do, right, and this is the analogy between the Old Testament and the New Testament, are you willing to say that, well, yeah, thinking to myself, yeah, Pat, yeah, you were wrong, actually, when you said it was okay to do such and such, that was actually wrong, and you then put in the correct one. With the Bible, the problem that you have is the same one that you want to talk about, the loving Jesus Christ himself, which we also adore and respect as a prophet, is the same one that you believe is God and revealed the Old Testament, and you can't get out of that. So when your God, Jesus, revealed at that specific time, as I just read the passage, and I can read you plenty more, where he says to kill babies in war, is it okay to target infants in war and kill babies? Is that inherently immoral? The problem that you have is if you go on, and this is why the argument is so important, it's not a tukoke just as a fallacious argument, it's checking for your consistency as a Christian, whether or not you're actually faithful to your own text and tradition. And the reality is you're not. Why? You have 2 options. If you condemn it as inherently immoral, then the whole Bible's gone. Because if you believe that those verses in the Bible were revealed by God, then you're saying that God is immoral. And on the other hand, if you say that it's not inherently immoral, but God changed the law at this time, then most of your arguments lose the force that they have against Islam, because you can no longer argue that it is inherently immoral to punish an apostate by death and all of the other things that you want to tack on. This is why it's so important. It's not a fallacious argument, and the reality is we want to stick to our text and our tradition, and for the most part, we would argue that the Christians have abandoned them in favor of secular, liberal, moral ideologies.
Let me have Daniel respond, and then I'll come to you.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things that we need to respond to, because he's just listing every
Yep.
evidence that he has against Islam. We have to take it step by step. But just on this point of violence, I think Jake makes really the crucial point. It's that Jesus, according to the Christian belief, Jesus is the God of the Old Testament, and he's the one who's commanding Moses, for example, to ethnically cleanse the Canaanites, the Amalekites, or all of these other tribes, and to conduct conquest and to take girls as slaves, to take virgins as slaves. This is
by the way, Jason,
sure. So
Christians
have to deal with that moral problem. A lot of
Sure.
Christians
Pause. All right. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, let's end it there.
Go
I
ahead.
think we can end it there. I think that's
Okay.
basically
Yeah.
the
All right.
argument.
All right. I think we
By the way, there's another
we
thing
might
I want
need to do a part
address.
2. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be
Yeah.
able to do a part 2, but we'll see, inshallah. But the brother, as Jason Skywalker, is
Alright.
here. Let's say hi.
Okay.
Bring up his comment.
All right. Assalamualaikum, brother. Let me see. Which
Assalamualaikum, brother.
Which one should I share? This one. Yeah. This one. Yeah.
He has to believe that his God commanded something which is evil, only for his wishy-washy preference to come along later to reinterpret the whole thing as no, he didn't mean that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the main issue here is that I think Christians don't realize that they cannot make any more argument against Islam without throwing their own religion under the bus. They just cannot do it.
Yes. Exactly.
It's a dilemma.
They can't.
If you say that
Yeah,
God is
they
evil,
can't.
then Christianity is false, right? If you say God is evil, then Christianity is clearly false. If you say that, oh, it was allowed at that time, then you can make the same argument about Islam. It was allowed at that time. And if this is the case that, morality is not constant, like it's not objective, then at that time it was still evil, right? Because you said that it's inherently evil. So that's still a contradiction.
Exactly.
So if you say that God is evil, you're wrong. And if you say that it was allowed at that time, you're wrong. because you have to say that this is an evil all time in places.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you lose the argument. Like, it's a dilemma. You have no way of getting out of this other than saying, yeah,
Yes.
it's moral, it's okay. That's the only argument you can make.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're done.
Exactly.
Like, there's nothing else.
Exactly.
So this is why
Exactly.
there's
Yeah.
no more argument a Christian can make against Islam. Nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And most of the criticism they have
Yeah.
against Islam is in Christianity, is in the Bible. You know? So, Brother Jason says, and Rashid's case is worse because he straight up said that those Old Testament laws were for their time and not for all time, implicitly accepting the claim that it isn't inherently evil. Yeah, exactly. Then you cannot say
Exactly.
it's evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because clearly it was allowed in sometimes. So yeah, that's basically it. But there's one thing I wanted to touch upon. It's something that this idiot mentioned, Robert Spencer mentioned. It's regarding warfare. He quotes this hadith. Let me share it. There we go. Can you share the screen?
Okay, let me share this screen.
Yeah, he quotes this hadith. Let me make it a bit bigger. Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it. Okay, let me zoom it further.
This is the best I can do, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay? So basically, Robert Spencer, he quotes this hadith, right? And basically, it's a hadith about nitrates. It says, it is reported on the authority of Sab bin Jathama that the Prophet of Allah, when asked about women and children and the polytheists being killed during the nitrate, he said, they are from them. So basically, it's talking about killing civilians, right? So he quotes this to make it seem like, oh, Islam allows killing civilians. Except if you just go up and read the chapter, what does it say? Permissibility of killing women and children in right race so long as it is not done deliberately. This is, who's saying this? Imam Muslim.
The title clearly says
like
it
it's
all, right?
literally the title.
It's literally in the title, man. Yes.
Subhanallah, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to lie, at least do a better job. And not just that. And I think this point is made by Jake as well. If you just go to the hadith just before, look at what it says: the prohibition of killing women and children.
Exactly. There you go.
What is that? It is narrated by Ibn Omar that a woman was found killed in one of the battles. So the Messenger of Allah forbade the killing of women.
Forbade the killing of women and children. My God, Subhanallah, that's so clear.
Again, since I'm Muslim.
So clear.
So yeah, that's
clear.
basically an exception. Like, for example, if you have a situation where you cannot like completely stop innocent civilians from getting hurt.
Yeah. Yes, basically the Prophet was talking about collateral damage. Yeah, he's talking about collateral damage. Yeah,
collateral damage. Yes.
Yes.
In those cases,
that's right.
You know, it is okay. There's no blame upon you, but you cannot deliberately kill people. But in modern times, what these assholes do, and this is the same kind of like arguments that like this people like Sam Harris and like all these other assholes use in defense of countries like Israel in their international war efforts, which is that, oh, you know, these are just collateral damage. No, it's not. Because like when it comes to countries like Israel, they know that when they attack a civilian, if you bomb like a civilian building, you know for a fact civilians will die. You know that.
Yeah.
And you don't have to attack that building because like countries like Israel has all the defense in the world. Like, there's literally nothing that the terrorists can do that can touch them.
Yep.
So when you have the situation and you deliberately drop bomb on civilian targets, you're deliberately killing women and children. It's not collateral damage. So that defense cannot be used there. So that's the difference between the Prophet and this scoundrel kind of like Netanyahu scumbags, the leaders of like Israel. They have all the technology in the world, but they still refuse to not stop killing women and children. But the Prophet ﷺ lived in the 7th century and still had this sense that you should not kill women and children. Even though back then it would be very difficult to do that.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's why he should be followed.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
He was a good leader.
The best.
He was
the best.
Yeah. This is why he was a prophet.
That's why he was selected to be the prophet. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
But Yeah, so basically, I wanted to cover that because I think we didn't get to that. It comes in much later, but it's a stupid point. It's a lie.
Yeah. Basically, all they can do is talking about violence, killing, rape, killing, violence, possible marriages, wife beating, Safia, Aisha. That's it, and then it repeats again: violence.
And by the way, did you notice
apostasy,
when Jake basically brought up this creedal point that some of their early church fathers were basically pagans, and some of this creedal point against Christianity, they run away. They immediately, that's not a topic for discussion.
Like, I haven't finished watching the whole thing yet. I only watched halfway. Yeah, I haven't finished watching it.
Yeah, that's basically some of the things he says, and I think overall, I think we basically covered the gist of it. And if we can, we will try to cover more in the future if it's possible. But
I think we'll do a part 2 because we can't do it now. Yeah, I think it's getting late. I have work tomorrow. Okay, I have to go and leave the house at around 6. Yeah.
So thank you everyone for joining us. Inshallah, I'll see you guys next time. I have another video coming up soon. It's on Sam Harris and Zionism. It should be an interesting video. Definitely check that out.
Fun. Yeah. Definitely.
And also subscribe to Brother MENJ. And,
subscribe to Brother Islamic Calling. Islamic Calling's channel. Yeah. Subscribe to both our channels. Come on, guys.
Of course.
It's free.
Subscribe to both channels.
It's not paid.
And I'll see you guys next time, inshallah. So say your piece, inshallah, bro.
Yes. So thank you very much for joining this live stream, this collaboration. We haven't done a collab like this in a very long while, right? So this is like streaming simultaneously on both channels. So this is like a grand collab because usually I will be on your channel or you will be on my channel, but we haven't actually done both channels at once. I think we did one last year, but that was very long time ago. But this is like the first one we did this year. So alhamdulillah, I think with the exception of my technical issue, at first it was the StreamYard. Now,
by the way, apologies for the technical issues.
Oh my god. Fortunately was sorted out.
Alhamdulillah, I think the stream went well overall. Also, thank you to Brother Sabit of Allah for joining us. And
so I think that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for joining us. If you like this video, please do not forget to like this video, share this video. Please subscribe to both our channels. Both our channels are in the name. So I think that's all I have to say.
And if you guys want to support us, you can support us by becoming a YouTube member or by becoming a Patreon. So right. This I think I want to add this. See you guys later.
Hopefully there will be a part 2. I don't know whether there will be one. It depends on Brother Islamic Calling. Okay.
Inshallah, hopefully
we'll see. All right. Okay. All right. So that's all.
All right, let's end this, inshallah.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah.